1. Eternal paradox reigns. Imagine a quiet moment where you lie in bed and your mind begins to wander into a space that defies ordinary logic, a space where opposites coexist and contradictions feel natural. In this state, you begin to sense that reality itself holds a timeless contradiction that challenges the usual way you think. It is a paradox that, rather than causing confusion or distress, sparks a deep sense of introspection that gently guides you towards sleep. This eternal paradox reigns in the quiet hours of the night, inviting you to consider that even in uncertainty, there is beauty, and in contradiction there is a hidden calm waiting to be discovered. As you settle into the darkness, the complex layers of your day start to peel away, and you become aware of an inner dialogue that questions conventional truths. You notice that the weight of certainty is lifted, replaced by a refreshing openness that makes it possible to see the world from a new angle. The conflicting ideas that once collided in your mind begin to merge as if by magic, forming an intricate pattern that, in its imperfection, feels both mysterious and inviting. In that moment, every thought, every memory, and every fleeting emotion is part of a larger cosmic puzzle that slowly reveals its serene nature. The paradox may seem eternal because it reminds you that even when life presents the most conflicting images, a gentle balance emerges to nurture your soul. This process is subtle, almost imperceptible at first, like a soft whisper in a noisy room. Yet as you lie there, you feel your mind opening up as it dares to accept that not all contradictions need to be resolved immediately. In the space between wakefulness and sleep, the sharp edges of your ideas blur and dissolve, replaced by a comforting, reflective understanding. It is in this hallowed silence that the eternal paradox reigns, gently challenging you to reflect on how life itself is filled with wonder even in moments of confusion. Instead of feeling torn apart by conflicting thoughts, you begin to understand that these very contradictions are a vital part of your existence. They are the sparks that ignite a deeper conversation with your inner self. Over time, as you embrace this reflective state, you may find that the more you accept these paradoxes, the more they begin to transform into a guiding light. The stress and pressure of trying to fit your experiences into neat, conventional boxes fade away as you realize that true wisdom lies in the beauty of uncertainty. In this calm introspection, your mind learns that it is perfectly all right to explore ideas that may not have clear answers, to dwell in the gray areas of life where every conflicting thought contributes to a larger tapestry of meaning. This acceptance brings forth a quiet yet potent relief, as if the burden of needing absolute answers is lifted and replaced with the freedom to simply be. As the paradox unfolds, you start to experience a feeling of deep, restorative relaxation. This gentle unraveling of confusion into clarity is not forced. It happens organically as you allow your thoughts to settle. The more you let go of the need to rationalize every detail, the more you can surrender to the natural flow of your inner self. In this state, your mind is free to wander and explore without being shackled by expectations or the pressure of constant analysis. It is a state of true openness and freedom where each paradoxical idea adds to a sense of timeless calm. The interplay of conflicting thoughts becomes less a source of anxiety and more a pathway to discovering profound inner truth. In the gentle embrace of the night, the eternal paradox reveals that life's uncertainties can be a source of comfort, rather than turmoil. Each contradiction you encounter opens a door to new insights, inviting you to view your experiences with a sense of wonder rather than with fear or judgment. This perspective shift transforms your inner landscape, nurturing a state where even the most intense emotions and thoughts gently converge into serene quiet. As your mind begins to drift into sleep, you carry with you a sense of peace, born of acceptance and reflection. You realize that true rest comes not from having all the answers, but from welcoming the questions with a warm, open heart. So, as you lie in the stillness of your room, let go of the need for absolute certainty and allow yourself to dwell in the space of the eternal paradox. Embrace the mystery, the contradictions, and the quiet wisdom that arises from them. In doing so, you create a fertile ground for profound introspection and deep, rejuvenating sleep. Every conflicting thought is part of this beautiful dance of clarity and confusion, and in their interplay, you discover a timeless serenity that gently carries you into rest. If you enjoyed this exploration of eternal paradoxes and the transformative power of acceptance, please subscribe and join our community. Let us guide you on a journey of calm reflection and restorative sleep, where every night holds the promise of deep, peaceful rest and renewed inner wisdom. 2. Infinite doubt unfolds. Imagine lying in the quiet of the night when all the noise of the day has begun to fade away, and instead, an ever-expanding sense of uncertainty softly surfaces in your mind. In this gentle unfolding of doubt, the overwhelming chatter of your busy thoughts begins to shift, inviting you to explore the unknown without fear. It's as if the walls of your certainty start to crumble, and in their place, there emerges a space filled with possibilities. Spaces where every question you once tried to avoid now becomes a doorway to deeper insight. Rather than feeling threatened by this infinite doubt, you allow it to brush lightly against your consciousness, like a whisper from the universe that suggests there is beauty in mystery and strength in embracing uncertainty. As you surrender to this sensation, your mind is encouraged to relax, releasing the pressure of having all the answers, and instead allowing curiosity to guide you into a state of calm reflection. In this state, your inner world transforms. The tension that once tightened your thoughts slowly eases as you begin to accept that not every moment requires clarity or perfection. The ambiguity of the unknown, which might have once sparked anxiety, now gently coaxes your mind to pause, take a deep breath, and simply be. Each inhalation draws in a refreshing sense of possibility, while each exhalation releases a bit of the rigid stress that comes from clinging to certainty. Over time, this process not only softens your emotional load, but also paves the way for a restful, rejuvenating sleep. As the veil between wakefulness and sleep grows ever thinner, the infinite doubt, once a source of restless energy, merges with a profound calm, inviting you to drift into a state of reflective serenity. In that quiet space, you learn that the beauty of life lies in its unanswered questions, and that the gentle acceptance of doubt can be a powerful ally in achieving deep, restorative rest. Embracing these moments allows your mind to explore the vast, mysterious landscape of your inner self without fear, transforming uncertainty into a calm, reflective energy that cradles you into a peaceful night's sleep. If you feel inspired by this journey into the soft realm of infinite doubt, subscribe now and join our community for more calming insights and transformative techniques to help your mind rest deeply and awaken renewed each day. 3. Reality bends gently. Imagine lying in the quiet depths of night when the boundaries of what you once considered fixed begin to shift ever so subtly, allowing the truth of existence to flex and soften before your eyes. In these moments, the rigid lines of reality seem to blur, transforming the weight of your daily experiences into something more malleable and kind. It is as if the hard, unyielding truths you carry throughout the day relax into gentle curves that invite you to see the world from a more expansive and calming perspective. As you settle into your bed, you might notice that the familiar details of life, those facts and figures that once seemed so concrete, begin to lose their rigidity, replaced by a fluid sense of possibility that sparks profound inner wonder. The perception of reality itself appears to bend, offering a fresh, soothing insight that not all must be as fixed and unchangeable as it once seemed. This gentle bending of perception is not about denying the challenges and difficulties of life, but rather about creating a space where the natural tension of existence can be released slowly, enabling you to embrace both certainty and mystery without conflict. In that quiet transition, your mind begins to recognize that even the most seemingly absolute truths are capable of softening under the influence of introspection and calm thought. Every breath you take may seem to carry with it a subtle shift, a tiny softening of those hard edges as your thoughts weave together new understandings of what it means to be truly present. The more you allow these shifts to emerge, the more you realize that the rigid frameworks you once clung to start to dissolve, replaced by a rhythmic interplay between reality and perception that feels both liberating and comforting. It is as If the universe itself is inviting you to notice that life's contradictions can coexist harmoniously, that the intensity of your experiences can yield to the quiet promise of new beginnings. Each passing moment is filled with a delicate energy that speaks to the impermanence of stress and the gentle promise that transformation is always possible. As your vision of the day softens, so too does the sound of your thoughts, once loud and insistent, now receding into a background melody that calls you toward rest. This is a period of introspection where the line between what is real and what is imagined blurs, until you find yourself effortlessly drifting into a realm of reflective calm. The process of reality bending gently is a subtle art, one that unfolds without fanfare. It is experienced in the softening of a frown, the easing of a clenched jaw, and the deepening of each slow, deliberate breath. In this quiet interplay, your inner world expands, and you start to trust that the unknown does not have to be feared, but rather welcomed as part of life's intricate tapestry. The revelation comes like a warm light that spreads slowly within, dissolving the stress that accumulated over hours into a gentle bath of tranquility. You might even begin to sense that the universe, in all its vastness, offers room for both certainty and doubt, that embracing these opposing forces can lead to a more resilient and calm state of being. In those moments, every tiny detail, the soft hum of the night, the rhythmic pulse of your heart, and the whispered secrets of your thoughts merges into an elegant dance that comforts you deeply. It is here that reality, with all its imperfections and surprises, reveals a softer side, one that encourages you to let go of the need for strict definitions and to accept the beauty of its fluidity. This gentle shift reminds you that life is not about clinging to rigid forms, but about finding balance in the ever-changing flow of existence. With each passing minute, as you allow your perceptions to bend and transform, a serene state of mind emerges naturally. It is not an instant or dramatic conversion. Rather, it is a gradual, almost imperceptible transformation that grows stronger with time and patience. As you embrace the possibility that reality is more flexible than it seems, you discover that the chaos of the day can yield a profound, lasting peace. This newfound clarity nurtures your ability to rest deeply as the mind, once troubled by relentless demands, now thrives in a space filled with calm and creative potential. In this quiet, transformative process, every thought softens, every worry diminishes, and even the most intense experiences are reimagined as part of a larger, more beautiful whole. If you find solace in this gentle shifting of perception, let it be a reminder that deep rest is always within reach, and that even the strongest storms of thought can melt away into a luminous calm. Embrace the flexibility of your mind and the beauty of gentle, unfolding change, and allow yourself to drift into the quiet embrace of a peaceful, restorative sleep. If this insight resonates with you, please subscribe to our channel and join our community of seekers who trust in the transformative power of gentle perception and calm exploration. Let reality bend for you and discover the profound peace that awaits. 4. Mind maze crumbles. Imagine lying in the quiet of the night as your mind, filled with a tangled labyrinth of thoughts, begins to unravel like an old worn-out map. In this gentle process, complex thought patterns that once seemed impenetrable start to break apart piece by piece, allowing small glimmers of clarity to emerge. It is as if the intricate maze within your head slowly crumbles, and with every fragment that falls away, space opens up for a soothing calm to take its place. This gradual dissolution of mental clutter isn't sudden or dramatic. It happens, softly like the slow erosion of rocks by a gentle river, guiding you toward a state of quiet reflection that makes sleep feel natural and welcoming. At first, your mind might seem a jumble of competing ideas and swirling emotions, each one vying for attention, causing confusion and restlessness. Yet when you allow yourself to simply be, without the need to organize or control every thought, you begin to notice that these overwhelming patterns start to lose their grip. The more you let them drift away, the more space is created within your consciousness, and this open space begins to fill with clarity. It's like watching a starry sky emerge after the clouds have slowly lifted, revealing the luminous details that were hidden behind the storm. In these moments, your mind learns that not every thought demands a solution, and that sometimes the most profound insights come from simply observing your inner world without judgment. With each gentle breath, you feel the tension begin to ease. The chaotic network of ideas, once so imposing, starts to crumble under the influence of calm awareness. Your awareness focuses on the rhythm of your breathing, the slow in and out that mirrors a soothing cadence, gradually encouraging your thoughts to settle. As you become more attuned to this steady rhythm, the intricate maze of mental activity softens and loses its harsh edges. In its place, a quiet understanding begins to form, one that tells you it's okay to let go and simply be. This is the quiet magic of the mind maze crumbling. Complex patterns are replaced by clear, gentle spaces where the true essence of your thoughts can shine through. This process of deconstructing mental complexity is not about erasing everything or forcing your mind to be empty. Rather, it is an invitation to release the weight of overthinking and to allow the natural flow of clarity to take over. Like a well-tended garden, your mind needs the space to grow and flourish. When the maze of thoughts crumbles, you make room for new insights and creative reflections to emerge. It is in that space of open calm that you can experience a deeper connection with yourself, a connection that nurtures rest, encourages healing, and prepares you for the dreams of the night. There is a subtle artistry in this inner transformation. At times, you might be aware of fleeting moments when your mind feels lighter, almost as if it has been gently untangled. These instances may come as a gentle surprise, a quiet signal that the chaos has started to give way to order, a soft, respectful silence that invites you to reflect. Rather than battling every stray thought or trying to force a sense of quiet, you allow the process to happen naturally. You simply observe, and in doing so, you find that the mental maze begins to dissolve on its own. With each passing moment, the layers of confusion peel away, revealing an underlying calm that grows steadily until it becomes the dominant part of your inner experience. This unfolding process is much like turning the pages of a book that has long been unread. Each page, representing a chaotic thought or unresolved worry, gradually becomes part of a larger narrative that is both coherent and comforting. As the individual pieces of the puzzle come together, you gain not only clarity, but also a comforting sense of perspective. The intensity of earlier emotions softens into a reflective calm, and the uneasy energy that once surged inside you gives way to deep, restorative silence. It is this transformation that makes it possible for sleep to come naturally, without force, without struggle, but as an organic, welcome arrival at the end of a long day. When the mind maze crumbles, you begin to understand that the beauty of rest isn't found in the suppression of thoughts, but in the gentle transition from complexity to clarity. Each breath you take is a quiet step out of the labyrinth and toward a broader, more peaceful horizon. You might notice that, as the night deepens, the layers of swirling thoughts become less distinct and more like a soft tapestry of your inner world, woven together with threads of calm and lucidity. In this tapestry, there is space for both reflection and rest, a balance that invites you to experience sleep not as an escape, but as a natural restorative state. This quiet transformation can be supported by simple, intentional practices that you can incorporate into your nightly routine. For example, engaging in a few minutes of mindfulness meditation before bed helps to gently clear away the constant buzz of thoughts. You sit quietly, focusing on your breath, and allow each inhalation and exhalation to signal a small release of tension. Over time, these moments of quiet practice create a rhythm in your mind that gently guides you from active thought to peaceful reflection. The more consistent you are with these practices, the easier it becomes to allow your mental maze to crumble, naturally, letting the light of clarity shine through. Other supportive practices might include listening to calming music, reading a light and soothing book, or even writing down a few thoughts to clear your mind before sleep. These activities serve as gentle reminders that it's time to transition from the busy world of daytime demands to the quiet sanctuary of night. They create an environment in which the chaotic maze of your thoughts can dissolve, And in its place, a calm clarity emerges, a natural state that welcomes sleep with open arms. In these moments, as your mind releases its intricate web of thoughts and embraces a serene, clear state, you begin to feel a profound sense of relief. The very act of letting go is liberating. It is a reminder that you are not defined by the complexity of your thoughts, but by your ability to find calm in their midst. With the maze slowly crumbling away, your inner world is freed from the demands of constant mental activity, and in that space, restful sleep can take over, gently and naturally. If you found value in this reflection on how complex thought patterns gradually break apart and lead to a serene, restful state, consider subscribing to our channel. Join our community for more thoughtful, engaging insights that help guide your journey from mental chaos to tranquil sleep. Embrace the quiet transformation that awaits you each night, and let your mind find peace in the gentle unfolding of clarity. 5. Cosmic irony emerges. As you settle deeper into rest, a soft realization begins to take shape within your mind, an awareness of the strange and gentle irony that life often carries. It's the kind of understanding that doesn't demand logic or proof, but arrives quietly like a whisper from the stars. There is something oddly comforting in the way the universe seems to hold contradictions, how something can be true and untrue at the same time, how light is both wave and particle, how joy and sadness often come from the same place. This is not a loud discovery. It is subtle, like the glimmer of moonlight on still water, and it doesn't disturb you. Instead, it soothes you. These cosmic contradictions don't create confusion, they bring perspective. They remind you that it's okay not to have everything figured out. Sometimes peace is found in simply accepting the mystery. Think about it. The very search for stillness can feel like an effort, yet true stillness comes when you stop trying. You may try to quiet your mind, only to find it grows louder. But when you let go, when you allow your thoughts to move without judgment, the noise gently fades into the background. That's the kind of irony that unfolds as you drift deeper into rest. The universe has a way of easing tension by showing us how some of the things we hold tightly aren't meant to be controlled. The more we release, the more we feel grounded. And in that surrender, an inner calm begins to bloom. There's also a lightheartedness to this realization. Not the kind that makes you laugh out loud, but one that brings a soft smile inside. It's the quiet kind of amusement you feel when you realize that the things that once seemed so big, so heavy, were never as serious as they felt. It's that moment when you notice how the pressure to be perfect dissolves once you accept that perfection is an illusion. The universe gently reveals these truths, not as lessons, but as gentle reminders, whispered in moments of stillness. These reminders aren't heavy. They lift you. They show you that it's okay to not always know the way. Sometimes the way reveals itself when you stop looking so hard. This gentle irony of existence has a calming rhythm to it. It reminds you that the harder you try to force rest, the more it escapes you. Yet when you simply allow rest to come, it arrives with ease. That in itself is a cosmic joke, but one filled with grace, not mockery. It shows up in the soft moments of letting go, when your breath deepens and your thoughts slow down without force. The very contradiction becomes a gift. You start to feel how opposites can live side by side: movement and stillness, energy and calm, questions and quiet. These opposites don't fight. They blend, and in that blending your body softens, your heart opens, and your mind finally begins to rest. At night, when the world outside becomes quiet, the space within you grows larger. And in that space, cosmic irony begins to bloom like a soft flower. You start to see how your past worries now seem far away, almost like stories told in a different language. The stress that once pulled at your shoulders now feels distant, as if it belongs to someone else. And in its place is this strange, beautiful sense that maybe everything is exactly as it needs to be. Maybe, in all its contradictions, the universe knows what it's doing. Maybe it always has. This thought doesn't need to be debated or analyzed. It only needs to be felt. And as you allow that feeling to grow, you notice a deeper softness inside you, a place where questions don't need answers, and where peace comes not from solving problems, but from simply resting in the mystery of it all. Sometimes what calms us isn't a solution, but a shift in perspective. And cosmic irony does exactly that. It gently invites you to see your life, not through the lens of pressure and perfection, but through the eyes of acceptance and ease. You begin to understand that it's okay to be a mix of things, to be strong and uncertain, hopeful and tired, calm and curious. These pairs don't cancel each other out, they complete each other, and that realization feels like a warm blanket on a cold night. It wraps around you and tells you, in the quietest voice, that you are enough, just as you are. With every breath you take, the irony of life feels less like a puzzle and more like a poem. The ups and downs, the gains and losses, the questions and answers, they all begin to dance together in your mind, not in conflict, but in harmony. It's a kind of dance you don't need to lead. You can just observe, feel, and allow it to carry you gently toward sleep. The irony becomes part of the rhythm that soothes you, the soft realization that not knowing can be peaceful, and that letting go can be the most powerful act of all. As your thoughts grow slower and your body feels heavier in the best way, you may find that this gentle irony continues to whisper to you. It tells you that the universe doesn't always work in straight lines, and neither does rest. It curves, bends, sways, and so can you. You don't need to follow a strict path. You can float, drift, and flow. You can let your thoughts wander, like clouds across the sky, with no need to catch or control them. And in doing so, you find a peace that goes deeper than sleep. It touches something at the core of your being, a quiet trust in the flow of everything. So as cosmic irony continues to emerge in the quiet space of your night, let it guide you not toward answers, but toward ease. Let it show you that contradictions can comfort, that not knowing can be healing, and that rest doesn't need to be earned. It can simply be received. With each breath, let go a little more. Feel your body soften. Feel your thoughts slow. Feel the gentle rhythm of the universe surrounding you like a warm, protective blanket. And as you let yourself sink into that comfort, know that you are exactly where you need to be. Not in control, not lost, but held in the soft hands of a universe that understands the beauty of mystery. If you've found peace in this reflection, take a moment to subscribe and stay connected with our growing community. There are more calm thoughts and gentle journeys to come, each one designed to support your path to restful sleep and inner clarity. You're not alone on this journey. Let the calm carry you. Let the irony comfort you, and let the night restore you. 6. Twisted Truths Whisper. In the quiet of the night, when everything else begins to fade into stillness, some truths start to speak, not loudly but in a soft, almost silent way. These are not the usual truths, the kind we grow up hearing or reading in books. These are twisted truths, realities that are not straightforward or simple. They come with bends and turns, with layers that don't always make sense at first, but in that very complexity, there is something comforting. They remind us that life is not always meant to be fully understood. Some things are meant to be felt, accepted, and gently held, even if we don't fully grasp them. These quiet, twisted truths show up just when the mind is starting to let go of the day. They come like a whisper from somewhere deep inside. Maybe they've been there all along, waiting for a time when the noise has finally faded enough to be heard. These truths may seem odd at first. They don't give you clear answers or firm direction. Instead, they suggest ideas that are softer, more curious. They invite you to stop trying so hard to figure things out. They offer a space where uncertainty is not a problem. It's a place of rest. When you begin to welcome these truths, you notice how the thoughts that once made your mind race now start to move more slowly. The contradictions that once felt stressful, like wanting peace but still feeling restless, or needing rest while thinking about tomorrow, no longer seem like conflicts. They become gentle reminders that you are human, and that's perfectly okay. In fact, these contradictions are part of what makes rest feel so real, because it's not about fixing everything, it's about creating space for everything to simply be. You may think about your past decisions, your future plans, or even the little things that didn't go quite right today. And yet, when twisted truths begin to whisper, those thoughts no longer demand action. They don't pull at you or weigh you down. Instead, they float. They move gently in your mind like leaves on water. They're still there, but they don't disturb the calm. They become part of the background, part of the natural rhythm of your thoughts. And in that rhythm, you begin to feel lighter. There's something calming about realizing that not every truth has to be straight or clear. Some can be curved, uncertain, even messy, and still be true. You don't need to solve every thought before you sleep. You don't need to get every answer right. You are allowed to pause in the middle of it all, to just breathe and let your mind be free from pressure. And the twisted truths gently support you in doing just that. They don't rush you toward clarity. They walk beside you, slowly and patiently offering little insights along the way, not to direct you, but to comfort you. These truths may remind you that you've always carried more wisdom than you think, that sometimes the answers we seek are already within us, just hidden under layers of doubt or distraction. And when we let go of needing everything to be perfect, those answers rise gently to the surface, not like commands, but like quiet understanding. And those understandings feel safe. They feel warm. They feel like something you can rest in. As the whisper of these twisted truths continues, you might notice how your body responds. Your shoulders release just a little more tension. Your breathing becomes slower, more even. Your muscles soften, and your heart rate gently settles. It's not because you forced it, it's because your mind no longer feels the need to resist. The acceptance of life's soft, strange contradictions brings with it a release, a deep, natural release that doesn't require effort, and that is the kind of peace that invites true rest. Even when things in your life don't feel perfectly lined up, these truths can remind you that peace is still possible. That rest doesn't have to wait until everything is finished, or fixed, or figured out. You don't need a perfect plan to be still. You only need a little space, a gentle moment to hear what your deeper self already knows. These truths are not loud because they don't need to be. They speak quietly because they trust you'll hear them when the time is right. And maybe that time is now. As your thoughts grow even quieter, the whisper becomes more like a hum, a soft sound that stays with you, not asking for attention, but simply existing in the background of your rest. It's a reminder that complexity can be calming, that hidden meanings don't need to be uncovered all at once, that the beauty of life is often found in the things we don't completely understand, and that it's okay to rest without needing to solve everything. The whisper doesn't go away. It stays with you, gently supporting your journey into deeper calm. So as you lie here with your mind slowly letting go and your body gently sinking into comfort, let the whisper of these twisted truths keep you company. Let them remind you that you are not alone, that your thoughts are not wrong, and that your rest is well-deserved. You are in a place where nothing needs to be fixed. You are safe, supported, and slowly being carried into the quiet space of sleep. Let that space open fully now. Let it hold you. Let it calm you. Let the whisper guide you, not with answers, but with comfort. And allow yourself to drift, softly, easily, completely, into the night's gentle rest. 7. Surprising wisdom flows. There are moments, quiet ones, when something unexpected begins to rise within the mind. Not a loud thought, not a demanding idea, just something soft and steady, like a small stream finding its path through the stones. It isn't something you chased. It doesn't come from effort. Instead, it simply appears, flowing gently and smoothly, bringing with it a kind of calm you didn't even know you needed. This is the surprising kind of wisdom that doesn't shout or explain. It just comes. And when it does, it helps you release everything you've been holding. You might not expect it, especially after a long day filled with tasks, distractions, or unanswered questions, but that's what makes it special. It's the kind of understanding that shows up when you stop looking, and once it arrives, it begins to clear space in your mind, not by forcing anything out, but by gently washing over the thoughts that were holding tension. The stress that clung to you during the day begins to loosen. The pressure starts to dissolve, and you feel a sense of lightness, as if something heavy has been lifted without you needing to do anything at all. This flow of wisdom doesn't bring facts or decisions. Instead, it brings clarity that feels like peace. You may not be able to put it into words. You may not even fully understand what's changing, but you feel it. It's a gentle shift in how you see things. The problems you thought were urgent now seem a little smaller, a little easier to hold. The things you worried might never make sense now feel less important. You begin to realize that you don't always need to fix everything. Sometimes you just need to let your thoughts breathe, and this unexpected wisdom gives them room to do that. As the flow continues, your body responds. Your breath slows down. Your muscles start to relax without you even trying. There's no rush, no pressure, just a quiet current moving through you, soft and calm. It carries with it pieces of understanding you didn't even know you were waiting for. Not answers to every question, but something deeper, something that says, it's okay, you're doing fine. Let yourself rest now. This feeling is different from solving a puzzle or reaching a goal. It's not about getting somewhere, it's about allowing yourself to be exactly where you are. And in that space, new thoughts can rise. Gentle reflections that bring comfort instead of confusion. Maybe you think about something that happened today. Maybe you remember a small moment that didn't seem important at the time, but now feels meaningful. Or maybe your mind simply becomes still. In that stillness, surprising wisdom continues to flow, not with noise, but with calm. It reminds you of how much you already know, deep down, even if you often forget, that you are stronger than you think, that peace doesn't come from control, but from trust. Sometimes the best way forward is not to push, but to pause. These are not lessons someone teaches you. They come from inside, from that quiet place you don't visit often enough. But now, with the world silent and your body safe in rest, you can feel it again, and it feels real. This flow is gentle, like water wrapping itself around stones. It doesn't break the patterns of your mind. It smooths them out. It makes room for ease. You may not know where this flow comes from, but you don't need to. It doesn't demand to be understood. It only asks to be felt. And the more you allow it in, the more peaceful you feel. Not because everything is perfect, but because you no longer need it to be. You begin to realize that wisdom isn't always loud or full of explanations. Sometimes it's just a sense of knowing when to stop, when to let go, when to rest. And as you listen to this soft wisdom, it becomes a part of you, not something you have to remember, but something you carry with you, even when you sleep. Let this surprising wisdom continue to move through you now. Let it bring calm to every corner of your mind. Let it settle into the spaces that were once full of noise. And as it flows, trust that you don't need to hold on to anything. You can let go. You can rest. The wisdom will stay with you. It's already a part of you. Feel how your thoughts grow lighter, how your breath grows deeper, how your whole body begins to understand that it's safe now. Safe to stop thinking, safe to stop planning, safe to rest. Let the current of calm carry you. Let the quiet wisdom guide you, not to answers, but to peace. Let yourself drift gently now, knowing that everything you need is already flowing within you, just like that quiet stream, steady, soft, and always there. 8. Uncanny balance forms. Sometimes, inside your thoughts, there are parts that don't seem to agree. One side pulls while the other pushes. One voice says to keep going, while another whispers that you've done enough. These small conflicts live quietly in your mind, even when everything around you seems still. But as the quiet of the night sets in, something unusual begins to happen. These thoughts, which once felt so far apart, slowly begin to come together. You don't force them. You don't try to solve them. They just begin to shift and soften, like two waves that were crashing into each other now moving in the same direction. It's an uncanny feeling, this unexpected calm. You start to notice that the noise in your head is no longer clashing. The pieces that once fought for your attention are now sitting beside each other, resting. You might not even notice when it begins. It's that gentle. That's subtle. But it happens, and as it does, you begin to feel a quiet relief, as if something deep inside you has finally decided it doesn't need to fight anymore. You feel a new kind of stillness forming, not from emptiness, but from everything inside finding its place. This is the balance you didn't know you were waiting for. It's not loud, it's not bold. It's soft and smooth, like silk laying across your thoughts. The opposing parts of your mind, your worries, your hopes, your questions, begin to settle into something more even, more peaceful. There's no need to choose one side over the other. You realize they can both exist. You can want change and still accept the moment you're in. You can feel unsure and still feel safe. This balance doesn't ask you to decide. It simply gives you space to feel. With this balance, a sense of calm begins to grow. It starts in the background, like a quiet hum, then grows softer still, until it feels like silence itself. Your breath slows, your shoulders drop. The tension you carried without even knowing begins to fade, and you begin to float. Not away, but deeper into yourself, into a part of you that understands it's okay to hold two thoughts at once. It's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to just be. This harmony isn't something you reach by thinking harder. In fact, the less you think, the more clearly you feel it. It arrives when your mind is ready to stop racing and just listen. And in that listening, something beautiful happens. You begin to trust that everything, even the confusing or opposite parts of you, are allowed to be here. They don't need to be fixed. They don't need to be figured out. They just need to rest, and they are. You may start to feel like your thoughts are breathing with you, rising and falling in sync with each breath, not fighting, not rushing, just existing. This feeling doesn't need a name. It doesn't need to be described or understood. It just needs to be felt. And you do feel it. Quietly, steadily, fully, like the steady beat of a soft drum in the distance. Like the soft balance of night and dawn meeting for a moment before the sun rises. This feeling of balance holds you gently. It tells you that you don't have to hold everything alone. That rest doesn't mean giving up. That stillness doesn't mean you're stuck. It means your mind is finally getting a chance to breathe, to settle into itself, to reconnect with something deeper, quieter, kinder. You feel that now, the warmth of it. The simplicity of it, the honesty of it. Let this feeling stay with you now. Let it settle into every corner of your thoughts. Let the opposing forces inside you meet and rest together, not as enemies, but as parts of a whole. Let the harmony wrap around you like a soft blanket, reminding you that even inside your own mind, peace is always possible. Not because everything is perfect, but because everything is allowed. You're not trying to reach a perfect version of yourself. You're not trying to win against your own thoughts. You're simply resting in the quiet truth that you are enough. That your mind, with all its moving parts, can still find peace. And in that peace, you sleep. Not because the world has changed, but because you have changed your relationship with it, softened it, balanced it, made peace with it. This is your moment, a moment of strange, unexpected, beautiful balance. Let it hold you now. Let it guide you gently into the calm that you've been craving. There is no rush. No need to do more. Just breathe, feel, and allow this uncanny harmony to carry you into the rest you deserve. 9. Cryptic reality uncovers. In the quiet moments before sleep, when the world outside dims to a soft murmur, your mind may begin to perceive hidden layers of existence, gentle mysteries that reveal themselves almost imperceptibly. Imagine a time when the familiar structures of your day slowly unravel, and in their place, enigmatic whispers of truth take hold. These cryptic revelations do not come with loud proclamations or sudden epiphanies. Instead, they seep quietly into your awareness, like starlight filtering through a dark sky. In those soft hours, the complex tapestry of life reveals its subtler hues, each shade a reminder that reality is more fluid and mysterious than it first appears. It is in these moments that the cryptic reality begins to uncover itself, inviting you to explore deep, reflective wonder without urgency, but with profound calm. As you lie in the stillness of your room, the steady rhythm of your breath becomes a kind of metronome that guides your thoughts into a gentle state of contemplation. The perplexing details of your experiences, those intricacies you might have brushed aside in the noise of daylight, begin to surface one by one in a sequence that appears both deliberate and quietly reassuring. It is as if the universe, in all its vast enigma, has decided to share a secret with you, that the contradictions and complexities of life are not meant to disturb you, but to enrich your inner world with layers of insight. These subtle layers, once noticed, form a gentle pathway toward understanding and peace. Every deep breath you take softens the edges of your thoughts, allowing the intricate details of your inner reality to unfold in a manner that is as gentle as it is profound. In this unfolding, you may come to see that what once felt puzzling or even chaotic now offers small moments of clarity. Like pieces of a slowly emerging puzzle, each fragment connects with another, forming a picture that is both mysterious and comforting. The hard lines of stress and worry start to blur, as if they are being washed away by a soft tide of reflective silence. These cryptic cues from your inner world are not jarring. They are subtle signals that point to a hidden truth, that the reality you experience is dynamic and ever-changing, always inviting you to rediscover its calm core. In this space of quiet revelation, even the most perplexing thoughts begin to surrender to a slow, calming process. You might notice that the intense colors of conflict gradually turn into softer shades, blending harmoniously until only a serene panorama remains. This process can feel transformative, as if every thought that once created tension is now gently melting into a reservoir of inner peace. There is no need to force understanding or wrestle with each puzzle piece. Instead, you allow them to simply come as they are, without judgment. Imagine a mosaic forming slowly, where every shard of experience, no matter how complex, finds its place in a larger, comforting pattern. It is through this quiet acceptance that your mind begins to reconcile the many layers of existence, revealing a wisdom that is both timeless and soothing. With this emerging clarity, your thoughts no longer feel like burdens to be resolved. They become beautiful fragments that contribute to your overall sense of calm. The astonishing part is that this clarity is not manufactured. It is a natural part of your inner journey, ready to surface when you allow the distractions of the day to fade away. As you continue to relax, you may also notice that the world around you seems to take on a softer tone. The lights dim, the sounds quiet, and even the air feels lighter, as if it too is cooperating in this gentle transformation of reality. This serene ambience has a way of coaxing even the most tangled thoughts to release their hold on your mind. You are invited to simply be, to allow the cryptic reality of your inner world to unfold with a natural grace that calms even the busiest of mental landscapes. Each moment becomes an invitation to dive deeper into this serene pool of understanding, where the illusion of chaos is gently unraveled by the whispering of hidden truths. There is comfort in knowing that you do not have to solve every mystery or understand every paradox at once. The beauty of this process lies in its gradual nature. As the layers of your thoughts peel away softly, you discover that peace is always accessible, waiting patiently in the spaces between the ideas, in the gaps left by the fading echoes of your busy mind. This calm, gradually emerging from the depths of your uncertainty, nurtures your ability to rest and reflects a profound trust in the rhythm of life. It teaches you that the most complex puzzles in our minds often carry within them the seeds of serenity. Let this gentle revelation remind you that every thought has its time, and that sometimes the most meaningful insights come when you allow your mind to drift naturally. The cryptic reality that unfolds in the quiet hours is a reminder that true wisdom isn't always loud. Sometimes it flows softly, like a quiet stream beneath a starlit sky. It reassures you that you have the ability to let go, to simply listen, and to awaken each morning with a fresh, calm perspective. If you found this exploration of hidden realities both inspiring and soothing, consider subscribing to our channel to join a community that values the gentle art of reflection. Embrace the quiet flow of wisdom that naturally arises in the stillness of your night, and let it guide you to deep, restorative sleep. Your journey to peaceful rest continues here. Allow your mind to wander, discover its hidden truths, and awaken renewed with each gentle breath. 10. Mystic contradiction. Soothes. Imagine a time when your mind is caught between two opposing forces, a surge of tension and a soft, whispering calm, and instead of clashing violently, these conflicting energies begin to merge and transform into a gentle, soothing equilibrium. In this delicate balance, the very contradictions that once caused mental agitation start to work in your favor, guiding you toward a place of profound peace. It is as if the turmoil within, full of fiery emotions and stark disagreements, slowly surrenders its intensity to a mysterious, almost magical process that converts unrest into rest. The mystic contradiction is not about eliminating the conflict, but about allowing it to unfurl naturally until its sharp edges soften, leaving behind a warm, comforting glow of serenity that gently cradles you into sleep. Consider those moments when, after a long, hectic day, your mind feels like a battlefield where opposing thoughts and feelings struggle for dominance. You might experience feelings of excitement clashing with anxiety or hope intertwined with doubt. When you first notice these internal conflicts, they can feel overwhelming, yet as you begin to relax, a subtle shift occurs, a transformation where the tension between these contrasting ideas starts to dissolve, much like ice gradually melting into water under soft sunlight. What was once a sharp, discordant clamor in your head gradually becomes a quiet murmur of acceptance and peace. This process of transformation is gradual and gentle. It invites you to simply observe your thoughts and let them blend into one another rather than battling for control. As you settle into this state, your breathing naturally slows, each inhale drawing in calm and each exhale releasing a little more of the residual pressure. The sensation is much like the slow, rhythmic crashing of gentle waves on a quiet shore, a constant, reassuring presence that reminds you that change happens effortlessly when you give yourself permission to let go. In this space, the mind begins to reframe the very nature of its conflicts. Instead of viewing contradictions as problems that need to be solved, you start to see them as complementary pieces of your inner puzzle. Every conflicting thought becomes a part of a larger, more intricate picture of your life, one that contains both shadow and light, tension and tranquility, all existing harmoniously side by side. This process of transformation is not something that you force by ignoring your feelings or pretending everything is fine. Rather, it happens when you allow yourself to feel fully, both the intense and the gentle aspects of your inner world, without judgment. When you accept that life is filled with paradoxes and contradictions, you begin to understand that these opposing forces have their own purpose. They challenge your perceptions and, in doing so, pave the way for new insights that can soothe the mind. There is a peculiar beauty in embracing the full spectrum of your emotions, recognizing that each one contributes to the complete picture of who you are. Over time, as you let your mind gently settle, the very act of accepting your inner conflicts makes them less frightening and more integrated. This integration produces a calming effect, where the once turbulent energy transforms into a peaceful rhythm that lulls you into deep, restorative sleep. In this state of mystic contradiction, your thoughts need not be linear or perfect. They are like pieces of a mosaic that, when viewed from afar, form a beautiful picture of inner peace. You may still have sparks of tension here and there, but they no longer overwhelm you because you have learned to let them merge with the calm that is already there. The mind's ability to transform discord into a soothing harmony is a natural process that you can nurture through simple practices such as gentle meditation, mindful breathing, or even by simply sitting quietly and allowing your thoughts to flow without interference. These practices don't force the mind to change, but instead provide it with a safe space in which it can naturally rearrange itself into a state of balance and ease. As the gentle transformation unfolds in your mind, you begin to feel a softening of all the worries that once held you captive. The sharp edges of fear and doubt gradually become smooth curves of gentle reflection. There's a deep sense of relief that washes over you, not because the conflicts disappear, but because they begin to exist in a state of quiet understanding. In that very moment, you realize that rest is not found in the absence of conflict, but in the harmonious blending of all aspects of your inner life. The mystic contradiction, rather than provoking anxiety, becomes a source of inspiration, a whisper of wisdom that reminds you of the innate resilience of your mind. This wisdom, born from the very heart of life's dualities, helps you rediscover the strength in vulnerability and the peace in uncertainty. By embracing this natural transformation, you are not only giving your mind permission to rest, but also affirming that every moment of inner conflict has its own place in the tapestry of your existence. The overall effect is a serene acceptance of all that you are, both light and dark, calm and intense. It is a quiet affirmation that despite the contradictions that arise in your thoughts, there is always a path toward rest, a gentle journey that eventually leads to deep sleep. Your mind learns that it does not need to resolve every conflict immediately. It only needs to trust in the process of change and allow the storm to pass. If you found this exploration of mystic contradiction and the calming fusion of opposing emotions as soothing and enlightening as we do, consider subscribing to our channel for more thought-provoking insights and gentle guides that help you transform restlessness into peaceful slumber. Embrace the paradox that resides within you, and let it lead you softly into a night of deep restorative sleep every time. 11. Slumber insight rises. Imagine the quiet moments before sleep, when the day's clamor has finally begun to fade, leaving a gentle space where deep realizations subtly emerge. In this soft, transitional period between wakefulness and sleep, your mind starts to drift away from routine worries and mundane thoughts, and instead, profound insights rise from the depths of your subconscious, like delicate sparks of understanding. These moments, filled with clarity and calm, gently prepare your mind for the restorative power of sleep. They arrive without fanfare or abruptness, but rather as quiet nudges, whispers of wisdom that remind you that life holds gentle truths waiting to be uncovered. In these moments, you may find that your usual mental chatter becomes less insistent, and a feeling of ease takes hold. The constant questions and restless ideas that often keep you awake seem to pause, allowing a profound sense of calm to blanket your thoughts. As you settle into your bed and close your eyes, you begin to notice a slow transformation in your inner landscape. The stress and tension that build up over the day start to dissipate, replaced by a soft illumination that hints at deeper insights about your life and the world around you. It is in this space that sleep begins to coax you into a state of rest, not by demanding total silence, but by inviting you to trust that these emerging insights are part of a natural process. This reflective period is like a gentle tide, gradually washing over you and carrying away the remnants of worry, making room for a serene, rejuvenating quiet. Each breath you take helps you sink deeper into this gentle state, where the complexities of life, with all their twists and turns, become more comprehensible and less burdensome. You might observe that during these moments, the boundaries between your thoughts begin to blur. Ideas that once clashed or competed for attention now seem to flow together in a harmonious, reflective stream. This quiet merging of thoughts opens up a space of clarity where you feel both aware and at peace. It is as if the chaotic puzzle of the day is being slowly reassembled into a picture of calm and understanding. Such insights do not come as loud declarations or hard truths. They emerge softly from the interplay of your memories, emotions, and dreams. Each new realization gently adds to a sense of inner light that guides you toward a more profound state of relaxation. There is a comforting quality in knowing that the search for meaning does not have to be hurried. These insights, as they rise, do so in their own time, each one a small beacon that illuminates the path to rest. In this delicate process, you learn that the answers you seek are not always found in busy thought, but in quiet reflection. This awareness allows you to let go of the need for perfection, and instead embrace the beauty of imperfection, knowing that every moment of stillness is an opportunity to learn more about yourself and the world. With each deep, deliberate breath, the burden of the day slowly lifts, replaced by the gentle glow of understanding that comforts the mind and softens the edges of restless tension. In this state, your mind and body communicate in a language that is both ancient and ever-renewing. The rhythm of your heartbeat, the steady flow of your breath, and the quiet hum of your inner thoughts work together to create a serene environment where even the most complex dilemmas can be set aside, if only for a while. This collaboration between the physical and the mental is a subtle reminder that rest is a natural part of life, always available when you allow yourself to be still. Even if the mysteries of life remain unsolved, the gentle emergence of these insights fills you with a sense of reassurance. You begin to trust that you are exactly where you need to be, and that deep, restorative sleep will come naturally, as a continuation of this gentle unfolding of wisdom. As you lie there, embracing these soft revelations, you may become aware of the fleeting nature of the insights themselves. They are not constant, they appear and fade, leaving behind a quiet residue of understanding. This transient quality is not something to be feared, but a beautiful part of the process, reminding you that wisdom is a journey, not a destination. The soft glow of insight, though momentary, builds over time, layering your nights with a gentle, evolving clarity that supports restful sleep. In this way, each small revelation adds up, gradually transforming the way you approach the nightly ritual of rest. What once felt like a restless struggle against endless thoughts slowly becomes a peaceful surrender to the natural flow of your mind. In the embrace of these quiet, reflective moments, you learn that the true gift of sleep lies in the simple act of being present. There is no need to force away your doubts or anxieties. Instead, you let them be, gently watched over by the emerging light of understanding. This approach doesn't seek to eliminate the complexity of your life, but to honor it, to find peace within it, and to allow that peace to carry you into a deep, restorative slumber. The process of letting go becomes a gentle ritual of self-compassion, one where each breath reassures you that rest is not only possible, but is a natural outcome of acknowledging your inner truths. If you find that these gentle insights resonate with you and help guide your journey to restful sleep, please consider subscribing to our channel. Join our community and explore more thoughtful, calming techniques that empower you to embrace the quiet wisdom within. Let each night bring you closer to a state of deep, serene rest, where every moment of introspection leads to a renewed sense of peace. Your path to restorative sleep is just a breath away. 12. Labyrinth Mental Transfer. In the quiet space between wakefulness and sleep, something subtle begins to shift inside your mind. All day your thoughts may have been spinning, moving in many directions like a maze with no clear end. One moment, you were thinking about something you needed to do. The next, your mind jumped to a memory, a worry, or a question without an answer. It can feel as though your head holds a whole maze, built from endless paths of thought, where it's easy to get lost. But in these slower, softer nighttime hours, that maze begins to change. The turns feel less sharp, the walls seem to move and stretch, and what once felt like confusion starts to soften into something calmer. This transformation does not happen all at once. It starts slowly, gently. You may notice that your thoughts are no longer racing ahead or pulling you backward. Instead, they begin to settle. One thought leads to the next, like quiet footsteps on a path that unfolds naturally. The clutter starts to clear, not because you force it away, but because you allow yourself to let go. The need to solve everything fades. The pressure to understand every detail of your day begins to melt, and a calm sense of clarity starts to form. This clarity is not loud or sharp. It is smooth and peaceful, like a path that guides you gently toward rest. As your mind relaxes, the thoughts that remain are softer, more reflective. You think not to solve, but to observe. You watch your thoughts like clouds passing in the sky. You don't need to hold on to any of them. You just let them drift. In doing so, the complicated maze of your thinking slowly becomes a gentle garden of reflections, places where you can pause, breathe, and feel safe. The need to rush disappears. Instead, you feel a growing sense of stillness. This is the beginning of your mental transformation, from restless and scattered to calm and focused, from pressure to peace. The mind has a quiet wisdom, a deep intelligence, that works best when it is allowed to rest. During the day, your thoughts may fight for attention, each one louder than the last. But now, in the soft stillness of night, those same thoughts speak in whispers. They begin to support you instead of overwhelm you. You may think about a problem, but the urgency is gone. You may remember a moment, but now it feels distant, like a wave that has already passed. Each of these mental turns becomes a gentle step, helping you understand that clarity does not always come from thinking harder. It often comes from letting go. You may feel your breath slow down, your body settling into a softer rhythm. This physical calm works together with your mental quiet. As your muscles relax, your thoughts do too. It is as if your whole self, mind and body, is realigning, moving away from stress and into harmony. Even your senses begin to quiet. The room feels dimmer, the sounds softer, the world quieter. Everything invites you to slow down, to be present, and to allow this gentle transformation to continue. There is no rush. There is no pressure, only ease. The transformation of your mental maze into a path of peace is a natural process. You are not doing anything wrong by having complex thoughts. You are simply learning to see them differently. Each twist and turn in your thoughts is not something to fear. It is just part of the journey. And now, as you relax into this moment, you realize that the journey is becoming smoother. The obstacles in your mind start to look like stepping stones. You walk over them with ease. Your mind, once full of tangled paths, now begins to show you a way forward. A way that leads to calm. A way that leads to sleep. This path is not about forgetting everything. It's about seeing things more gently. When a thought rises, you don't need to fight it. You can notice it, thank it, and let it go. In this way, you begin to feel lighter, not because you ignore what matters, but because you trust that it doesn't all have to be solved right now. Rest is not something you have to earn. It is something you can allow. With every breath, your thoughts continue to soften. What once felt like a storm becomes a light drizzle. What once felt like a wall becomes a doorway. The more you stay in this calm space, the more the maze continues to transform. The pieces fit together in a new way. Patterns begin to appear where there was only noise before. Insights rise to the surface gently, helping you understand things you didn't see before. Not in a loud or intense way, but like soft lights turning on in a quiet room. These realizations are simple. They help you see that peace was always there. It was just hidden under layers of rushing and noise. And now that the noise is fading, you can hear the silence. A comforting, healing silence that welcomes you into deep rest. You feel supported. You feel safe. There is no danger in letting go. There is no harm in resting. In fact, it is in this rest that your mind does its best work. It organizes, it heals, it strengthens. Just like your body restores itself during sleep, your mind also renews. And this transformation, this shift from chaos to calm, from maze to clarity, is part of that restoration. It's how your mind takes care of you when you allow it. You don't need to force sleep to come. You simply need to welcome it. Like an old friend, like a gentle wave, like a soft breath that carries you inward. As you lie still, the transformation continues quietly. Your inner world becomes a place of peace. The maze is no longer a trap. It is a path that leads inward, toward a place of deep calm. This is your space, a space where nothing must be done, a space where everything is enough, just as it is. The more you stay here, the deeper your rest becomes. Thoughts may still come, but they no longer pull you away. You can simply smile at them, let them pass, and stay on the path you found. A path made of soft thoughts, gentle insights, and quiet comfort. If you find that this journey is helping you, if the transformation of your thoughts into peace is something you want more of, we welcome you to join our calming community. Subscribe for more thoughtful, soothing experiences designed to guide your mind into the soft arms of sleep. Let this be the start of your nighttime ritual, a gentle practice of letting go, finding clarity, and resting well. Each night is a chance to return to this place, where your mind transforms and your rest begins. 13. Philosophical mirage disperses. Sometimes we carry thoughts that seem so real, so important, that they shape the way we feel and act without us even realizing it. These thoughts might appear as deep truths or serious questions, lingering in the background of our minds. They feel like heavy clouds that block the light of peace. But as you slow down, lying quietly and letting go of the noise from the day, something begins to change. These thoughts, these illusions of meaning that once felt solid, begin to dissolve. They were never truly as clear as they seemed, and now they gently fall away like mist in the morning sun. You may start to notice that many of your beliefs were not really your own. Some were picked up over time, passed down from others, or built from moments of confusion or stress. They may have sounded wise or important, but when you truly stop and look at them, you begin to see through them. They were like mirages in the desert, images that looked real from far away but vanish as you get closer. And as those false ideas fade, what remains is something simpler, more honest, and far more peaceful. This kind of mental shift doesn't come with a loud voice or a sudden explosion of understanding. It happens slowly, softly. Like dust settling after a breeze, your mind begins to clear. What once felt like endless questions starts to quiet. You begin to realize that not everything needs an answer. Some things, in fact, feel more peaceful when left undefined. You don't need to solve every mystery. You only need to rest in the space where the pressure to understand has lifted. And in that space, truth starts to rise. Not the kind of truth that demands attention, but the kind that simply exists, steady and calm. You may reflect on the day and notice how many thoughts felt urgent or overwhelming. But here, in this moment, they lose their power. You see them for what they are, temporary, changeable, and not always accurate. As you breathe deeply, letting your body relax, you also let your mind begin to breathe. You allow the unnecessary weight of these thoughts to drift away. You do not need to carry them into sleep. They can stay behind, like shadows that fade, in the dark. What you carry with you now is only what is light, what brings ease. This mental clearing makes room for something new. Not more thoughts, not more ideas, but silence. A soft, open space where peace can settle. In this space, your mind does not need to do anything. It is not a place of doing. It is a place of being. And in simply being, you begin to feel safe. You begin to feel whole. There is no race, no search, no pressure. There is only rest. And from this rest, your deeper wisdom begins to shine. Calm, kind, and steady. It's a strange but comforting feeling, watching these old thoughts fade. You don't have to resist them. You simply stop believing in their importance. They are no longer the center of your attention. They are not the rulers of your peace. They are only passing ideas. And with each breath, more of them dissolve. What felt once like strong opinions or stressful questions now feel like echoes from a distant place. They no longer pull at you. You are free from their grip. And in their absence, your mind feels clearer, like a room that has been cleaned and open to the light. This gentle shift allows you to truly rest, When the mind is no longer tangled in illusion, it finds balance. And in that balance, sleep becomes easy. You do not need to force it. You simply allow yourself to fall into it, like a leaf floating on calm water. There is no fear in this, no confusion, only trust. You trust that you are safe. You trust that your thoughts do not control you. You trust that peace is not something far away. It is already inside you, waiting for this very moment. Each night, this process can happen again. The fading of illusion, the rising of clarity, it becomes a rhythm, a ritual of return. You return not to answers, but to comfort. You return to yourself, your quiet self beneath all the noise. And each time you do, it becomes easier. Your mind remembers, your body responds, your heart settles, the mirage disappears and truth remains. Not loud, not demanding, but gently present. So as you lie still, eyes growing heavy, breath slow and deep, know that this is not a time for figuring things out. It is time to let go. Let the illusions fade. Let the pressure fade. Let the noise fade. In their place, let peace rise. Let silence hold you. Let sleep take you. You are ready now, not because you've solved anything, but because you've allowed yourself to stop needing to. And in that stillness, in that letting go, you will find what you've always had, the power to rest. 14. Dreamlike reality shifts. Imagine the moment when the boundaries between wakefulness and sleep become so soft that your perception of reality begins to gently shift, as if the world around you is merging into a dream. In these quiet moments, just before you drift off, your mind starts to experience a transformation that blends the vividness of the waking world with the peaceful whispers of your inner dreams. It is a delicate process, one that happens gradually and with a natural, soothing ease. As you lie quietly, the familiar sounds and sights of the day gradually lose their sharpness, and in their place emerges a serene, almost ethereal quality that seems to blur the line between consciousness and sleep. The once clear edges of your reality begin to soften, and you find yourself slipping into a state where thoughts flow gently like a soft current, inviting you into a warm and nurturing realm of rest. In this gentle unfolding, the vivid details of your daily experiences, which once demanded all your attention, seem to ebb away slowly. It's as if every moment of wakefulness is being transformed before your eyes into a more subtle, dreamlike essence. The colors and shapes of your surroundings may still be visible, but they take on a muted, delicate quality, like a watercolor painting that has been softly blurred at the edges. In this state, even the simple act of observing becomes a soothing meditation. You might notice that the rhythm of your breathing deepens, synchronizing with a calm pulse that feels both familiar and comforting. Each inhale draws in the fading energy of your day, and each exhale releases any residual tension, allowing the shifting of reality to occur naturally. This process does not require any force or conscious control. It simply happens when you allow yourself to be present. Instead of trying to hold on to the sharp clarity of wakefulness, you allow the steady progression of time to guide your thoughts into a quieter, more reflective space. The mind, which often seems busy with countless details and endless chatter, gradually becomes receptive to a softer, more fluid way of perceiving the world. In this transition, the complexities and contradictions of life slowly blend together, forming a cohesive, dreamlike tapestry that calms and restores. It's as if the relentless pressure to think, plan, or worry dissipates as you sink deeper into this comfortable state of ambiguity, a beautiful fusion of reality and imagination. In these moments, you might also notice that the usual urgency of your thoughts relaxes. Concerns that once loomed large become distant and unthreatening, like distant echoes that fade away into gentle whispers. Even the events of the day, which might have seemed important when experienced in the intensity of light, now seem like fragments of a story told in a soft tone. They no longer press on your mind, but coexist with a growing sense of stillness. This natural blending of the tangible and the imagined creates a space where calm not only exists but thrives, paving the way for deep restorative sleep. As you allow this dreamlike reality to take hold, you might feel your body responding too. Your muscles, which have been tight from the day's efforts, begin to relax. Your heart rate slows to a steady, soothing rhythm, mirroring the gentle pace of your thoughts as they blur into a continuum of peaceful reflections. In this state, time seems to stretch, and you feel as if you are drifting along a calm river, carried softly by the current towards a place of complete serenity. There is no need to force anything. Rather, you simply let go, trusting that this gradual shift in your perception is guiding you to a state of inner rest that has always been within you. This process of shifting from a state of wakefulness to one that is more dreamlike is not about escaping reality. It's about allowing reality to become more fluid, more open to the possibility of peace. The world doesn't have to be so fixed and unyielding. It can change form, just as your thoughts do when you are ready to sleep. It's as if your inner self knows that after the rush of the day, what you truly need is a gentle return to a more harmonious existence, a place where the chaos of daily life is replaced with a loving, quiet embrace that nurtures your soul. In this space, you allow yourself to be carried gently, without urgency or expectation, into a realm where rest and contemplation merge seamlessly. Over time, as you regularly experience this gentle blending of wakefulness and dream, you may begin to notice that it becomes easier to let go. The transition itself becomes familiar, a soothing ritual that prepares you for the night without the usual struggle. Your mind learns that it is safe to relax and that the beauty of life lies in its ever-changing nature. Every evening, as the boundaries of perception gently blur, you are invited to explore a realm where the intense clarity of the day merges into a soft, reflective calm. This steady transformation not only provides you with a peaceful night's sleep, but also nurtures a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. When the world outside is quiet and your inner environment is becoming more fluid, you experience a profound sense of ease. The crisp, hard edges of your thoughts soften and give way to a kind of restfulness that seems to echo from the very core of your being. You realize that this dreamlike state is not a departure from reality, but a beautiful evolution of it, a transformation that allows you to appreciate the gentle interplay between what is seen and what is felt. In that serene space, you can let go, knowing that the journey from consciousness to sleep is a gentle one, and that every breath you take leads you closer to a deep, rejuvenating rest. If you find this pathway to a softly transformed reality inspiring, please subscribe to our channel for more thoughtful insights and calming techniques that help pave the way to peaceful nights and deeper sleep. Join our community and let your mind, in its gentle unfolding, discover the serene balance between wakefulness and dreams. Embrace the quiet evolution of your inner world and awaken each day renewed and refreshed. 15. Timeless thought unfolds. Imagine the moment when the day's hectic pace finally begins to wane, and your mind, once racing with endless tasks and worries, finds space to breathe deeply. As twilight settles and the world grows quiet, the constant stream of urgent thoughts slowly releases its grip and stretches into a state of endless calm. In this gentle transition, the fast-moving, cluttered ideas that dominated your day begin to decelerate and merge into a quiet, timeless rhythm. It is as if each thought, no matter how pressing once, is now allowed to soften and drift, surrendering the need to control or resolve every detail. With each deep, steady breath, the pressing tension of your day fades away, leaving your mind open and receptive to a profound sense of peace. This transformation is not abrupt or forced. It is a natural progression, as if your mind has been patiently waiting for the gentle cues of night to remind it that it is safe to let go. Gradually, the vivid images and rapid-fire ideas give way to soft reflections, and the chaos of the day becomes a cascade of quiet, deliberate moments. The relentless pace of life slows, and time itself seems to expand, offering a soft pause where no answers or solutions are demanded. Instead, a reflective serenity arises, nurturing your thoughts and guiding them towards restorative calm. In this space, you allow yourself to simply be, embracing the beauty of uncertainty and the freedom that comes from releasing the need to rush. The simplicity of this moment lies in accepting that every thought, whether once burdensome or exhilarating, is part of a larger fluid tapestry of experience. As you rest, your mind begins to understand that clarity does not come by force. It unfolds naturally, like a gentle flower opening at dawn. The earlier urgency that propelled your thoughts gradually gives way to a soothing stillness, a timeless state of inner light that nurtures your soul. The transformation feels like a slow but steady stretch into calm, a peaceful winding down of the mental engine that has been humming at high speed all day. With each soft exhalation, you let go a little more, and with each gentle inhalation, you fill yourself with a fresh wave of restorative energy. In this state of timeless thought, the details of the day blur together into a continuous flow of quiet understanding. The chatter of external demands fades into the background while your inner world becomes a sanctuary of deep reflection and peace. Here, the need to plan, analyze, or worry dissipates, replaced by an overwhelming sense that you are enough exactly as you are. This restful transformation unfolds naturally, as the mind learns that there is no rush to arrive at answers or solutions. Instead, it embraces the beauty of the moment with a gentle curiosity and a calm openness. The experience is both liberating and comforting, like finding a hidden reserve of stillness that restores you night after night. As the rapid pace of your thoughts slows and gives way to tranquil reflection, you might begin to notice that the tension in your body eases as well. A deep sense of relaxation flows through your muscles, easing the tightness in your shoulders, unclenching your jaw, and bringing a gentle calm to your entire being. The steady, calm rhythm of your breath reinforces this sense of stillness, and slowly, your mind and body enter a state where sleep is not just possible, but a natural, welcome destination. In this timeless state, there is no need to force your thoughts into silence. Instead, they are allowed to exist harmoniously, a blend of fleeting images and enduring calm that coaxes you into a deep, restorative slumber. The quiet unfolding of your thoughts carries with it an assurance that every day ends with an opportunity to reset. It is a gentle reminder that rest is not a reward for hard work, but a natural part of life, a gift your mind and body have always had within them. When you let go of the day's pressures and allow your mental pace to slow, timeless thought unfurls effortlessly. It fills you with clarity and quiet, preparing you to awaken refreshed and ready for a new beginning. This profound transition, from the constant rush of busy hours to the calm, expansive silence of night, is both transformational and deeply nurturing. If this journey into timeless thought resonates with you and helps guide your transition into deep sleep, consider joining our community for more thoughtful, calming insights that support your journey toward restful nights. Subscribe now to receive gentle guidance and explore the deeper wisdom of your inner world, so every night becomes a peaceful invitation to rest and renewal. 16. Ethereal doubt melts. Imagine lying down in the stillness of the night, where the vibrant energy of your day slowly retreats, and you begin to sense a gentle shift in the atmosphere of your mind. In those quiet moments, the intensity of uncertainty, the doubts that have lingered like heavy clouds, starts to soften into something much lighter, almost as if they are being gently lifted away. It feels as though the weight of your worries, the pressing questions, and the endless what-ifs are gradually dissolving into a light, airy feeling. This process is not sudden or forceful. It is a natural, tender transformation that paves the way for clarity and quiet. As you allow yourself to rest, the disquiet that once dominated your thoughts transforms into a serene openness, setting the stage for a deep and restorative sleep. When uncertainty weighs heavily on your mind, it can feel overwhelming and sometimes even paralyzing. But as you begin to let go of the need for absolute answers in those slow, tender moments before sleep, your inner world starts to change. The mental fog, once thick with doubts, begins to clear. It is as if the very air around your thoughts becomes lighter, and what was once dense and challenging melts away into a delicate mist of calm. This ethereal transformation invites you to trust that not every question must be answered immediately, and that sometimes the beauty of life lies in the quiet space between the known and the unknown. With each deep, calm breath, you sense that the uncertainty in your mind softens like ice meeting warm sunlight. You don't force the process, you merely allow it to unfold naturally. The clarity that follows is gentle and gradual, emerging slowly as if it has always been there, waiting in the quiet places of your heart. Over time, this softening of doubt brings with it a subtle but powerful reassurance that your mind is resilient and capable of embracing both the mysteries and the simple truths of life. In that warm, lightened space, you find that the murmur of doubts recedes, replaced by a serene and expansive peace that washes over you like a soft lullaby. This process of transformation is like a gentle evening tide that gradually eases away the remnants of mental tension. With every exhale, your body releases a bit more of the uncertainty it held throughout the day, and with every inhale, you draw in calming energy that fills that space with a peaceful glow. It is a quiet invitation from within, telling you that it is safe to let go, that you are allowed to embrace the imperfections in life without fear. In this state, even if some doubts still linger, they no longer control your thoughts. They become simply a part of your vast inner landscape, merging into an ambient haze that supports rather than disrupts your journey toward rest. As you sink deeper into this soft embrace of transformed uncertainty, you begin to notice a remarkable change. The focus of your mind shifts away from the relentless search for concrete answers, and instead, it finds solace in the freedom of not knowing. It is in this gentle acceptance that deep clarity is born. You start to understand that every moment holds its own truth, and that the process of transformation does not require you to have everything figured out. Rather, it encourages you to trust in the natural flow of life, the ebb and flow of thoughts, the quiet exchanges of doubts and dreams. This trust creates a space in your mind where serene insight can arise, gently guiding you toward a state of profound rest. In that state, the everyday pressures and anxieties that once seemed so overwhelming melt away without struggle, replaced by a lightness that is both liberating and comforting. Your thoughts no longer race in wild patterns. Instead, they settle into a gentle rhythm that lulls you into peaceful reflection. The process feels like watching snowflakes drift down softly in the quiet of winter, each one unique and transient. Yet together, they create a scene of pristine calm. This is the essence of ethereal doubt melting, an inner process where the overwhelming becomes delicate and the confusing turns into a quiet invitation to simply be. As you allow this transformation to occur, you discover that sleep is not something you need to force. It naturally follows when your mind is unburdened by the need for constant resolution. In this light, airy state, your body recognizes that it's time to rest. Your muscles relax, your breath becomes deeper, and your heart rate slows, all aligning with the soft, unfolding clarity of your mind. The sense of relief is profound, as if a great weight has been gently lifted from your shoulders, leaving you with nothing but the serene glow of understanding and the sweet promise of deep, restorative sleep. Allow yourself to luxuriate in these quiet moments. Recognize that uncertainty has a way of transforming into wisdom when you stop fighting it and start embracing it instead. This wisdom is not harsh or demanding. It is gentle and kind, emerging effortlessly from the space where doubt once reigned. With each passing minute, the lightness of your heart grows, and the fog of uncertainty gradually clears, revealing the clear, calm sky beyond. This is the sublime beauty of letting go, the soft conversion of intense, nagging doubts into a steady, buoyant sense of peace that welcomes sleep with open arms. If you're ready to experience this transformation every night, to let your doubts melt into calming clarity and embrace a state of serene rest, subscribe and join our community. Discover more soothing techniques and reflective insights that guide your journey to deep, restorative sleep, where peace and quiet unfold naturally. Embrace the calm. Let the ethereal doubt melt away, and awaken each day refreshed and renewed. 17. Paradox pulse quiets. As the day fades and the noise of the world slowly disappears, your thoughts begin to settle into a quiet, steady rhythm. All day, your mind has danced between opposing ideas, hopes and fears, questions and answers, yes and no. This constant motion creates a kind of inner pulse, a mental heartbeat made up of contradictions that never fully align. But now, as you close your eyes and relax your body, that rhythm starts to change. The once busy beat of conflict begins to slow, softening into something more peaceful. The tension that lived in your thoughts earlier now seems distant, like a far-off sound gently fading. This is the moment when the paradox within you starts to quiet. It doesn't happen all at once. The shift is slow, like watching sunlight stretch across a quiet field in the early morning. Your thoughts don't stop entirely. They just begin to drift. Each one loses its sharp edge, becoming softer, lighter, easier to accept. You no longer need to choose between opposing sides of a thought or decide which feeling is right. Both can exist together without argument. You start to notice how this inner balance brings a calm that doesn't demand control. It simply is. The pulse that once raced with mental noise now beats gently, like waves meeting the shore in the calm of night. Inside your mind, the struggle between ideas becomes less important. The should I or shouldn't I, the what if and the what now start to blur and blend. It's not that the questions disappear, they just no longer ask for an answer. And with that, your mind finds a new rhythm. A rhythm that is natural, like breathing, like the slow sway of trees in the breeze. There's a beauty in this harmony, a deep quiet that comes when nothing is forced and everything is allowed to be. In this stillness, you can hear your thoughts more clearly, not because they are loud, but because you are finally listening in a quiet way. The paradox that once felt so confusing now feels almost peaceful. You begin to understand that opposite thoughts don't always fight each other. Sometimes they exist together, like two sides of the same coin. You may feel tired and still thoughtful, calm and still curious. These pairings aren't problems to fix, but patterns to notice. This understanding brings ease to your heart, like hearing a soft melody that plays just beneath the surface of silence. You don't need to solve every contradiction in your life before you sleep. You only need to let them rest beside you, like gentle companions rather than battles. With every breath, your body follows the quiet pulse of your mind. Your shoulders loosen, your chest feels lighter, and the space between your thoughts begins to widen. It feels like floating, not high or far, but just enough to feel weightless. The deeper you relax, the more your mind leans into this rhythm, and with each moment, your need to control your thoughts, your feelings, or your day begins to melt away. The paradox, the tension between thoughts, is still there, but it's no longer loud. It has softened into the background, like the soft hum of the night that surrounds you without asking for attention. You find yourself embracing both sides of things. You are both full and empty, thoughtful and still, aware and drifting. This balance brings you peace. The effort to make everything make sense has passed. Now, you rest in the space where things don't have to make sense to feel right. You welcome this gentle uncertainty, knowing it will carry you toward deep sleep. And in this quiet, your mind and body begin to move together as one, slowly preparing to let go of the day and enter the soft world of dreams. There is no rush here. No need to push away one thought to hold on to another. Everything finds its place. Even your confusion becomes a kind of comfort, proof that your mind is alive and exploring. The pulse of paradox within you no longer stirs conflict. Instead, it becomes a calming rhythm, one that supports your journey inward toward the deepest parts of rest and renewal. This is your time to be still, to be both everything and nothing, awake and fading. As your breathing slows and your body feels more at ease, you may notice that thoughts come and go without much weight. They pass by like clouds in a gentle sky, never staying long enough to cause worry. This is the quieting of the paradox pulse, the settling of the inner beat that once ran fast with thought. It's now slow, kind, and soft, a quiet drum that guides you to the edge of sleep. And just before you let go completely, you may sense a moment of deep, gentle clarity. A feeling that, for now, everything is exactly as it should be. You don't need to understand it. You only need to feel it. The paradox has not vanished, but it has quieted. And with that, you begin to drift, gently and fully, into rest. 18. Mindful Oxymoron Blooms. Imagine a serene garden where every plant, though seeming to contradict its nature, grows together to create a space of sublime tranquility. In this inner garden of the mind, the beauty of apparent opposites, joyful, sorrow, calm intensity, and silent vibrancy, unfolds naturally into a harmonious landscape that nurtures your peace of mind. As the day closes and the noise of the external world fades away, your thoughts, which may at times seem as conflicting as summer heat and winter frost, begin to blend and evolve into a subtle equilibrium. Instead of forcing clarity by eliminating one feeling in favor of another, you allow both to exist side by side. In doing so, the contradictions in your inner dialogue do not create tension, but rather blossom into a rich, complex tapestry of understanding and calm. Picture your mind as a quiet garden where delicate oxymoronic seeds have been sown throughout the day. Some seeds represent the fierce energy of anxiety, paired with the gentle lull of peace, while others embody the contrast between regret and hope. As you settle into a relaxed state, these seeds slowly sprout, and what was once a disjointed array of conflicting emotions starts to reveal its hidden beauty. The once sharp, discordant edges of your mental landscape begin to soften, blending into soothing hues of reflective insight. This transformation is not abrupt, but a gradual blooming, much like a flower unfurling its petals at dawn. With every slow, deep breath you take, these mixed emotions are nurtured. They absorb your calm energy and, in turn, yield a more stable and serene state. Over time, the very paradoxes that once made your thoughts feel heavy or scattered start to feel enriching and supportive, as if they are part of a larger design meant to remind you that life's complexities can give rise to an unexpected, gentle order. In this garden, the process of mindful observation plays a crucial role. You learn to watch your thoughts with an attitude of curiosity rather than judgment. Instead of trying to resolve every internal conflict, you allow the seemingly contradictory ideas to sit together, noticing how they interlace and create a sort of calming mosaic. This deliberate act of acknowledgement encourages your mind to relax naturally. It teaches you that it is okay to hold multiple truths at the same time, even if they appear to be at odds with each other. There is a quiet wisdom in this realization, a deep understanding that the very tensions you experience can, when viewed through a calm lens, transform into a tapestry of internal balance. The mindful oxymoron is a gentle reminder that the soft and the strong, the light and the dark, don't need to annihilate each other. They can exist in harmony, each contributing to a fuller, more nuanced picture of your inner world. As you continue to nurture these delicate contradictions, you might discover that they begin to produce a calming effect on your entire being. Your breathing steadies, your muscles loosen, and your heart settles into a softer rhythm. The crisp boundaries that once divided, your thoughts begin to blur, leaving behind a comforting openness, a space where the mind can finally breathe and the soul can rest. This shift is as organic as it is beautiful. What was once a cluttered maze of conflicting ideas gradually transforms into a gentle, unifying flow of awareness. With this transformation, you find that the mental noise that once kept you awake is replaced by a continuous, soft vibration of inner stillness. In this state, all the complexities of your emotions merge into a single stream of calm that carries you lightly towards sleep. This process of transformation is not about erasing your inner conflicts or forcing away your doubts. It is about creating space for them to exist as part of a larger, balanced whole. Each contradictory thought is allowed its place, but over time, As you remain present and receptive, they blend together until their edges become soft and comforting rather than sharp or jarring. What might have once felt like a cacophony of competing signals now sounds like a gentle lullaby, each note a reminder that rest is not found in constant resolution, but in the harmonious acceptance of life's inherent contradictions. Your mind, unburdened by the need for absolute clarity, can explore these paradoxes without pressure, inviting an enduring sense of peace that nurtures both your heart and your spirit. As this delicate balance forms, it does more than simply ease your thoughts. It creates a bridge to deep, restorative sleep. Your mind learns that even the most conflicting ideas can come together to form something profoundly beautiful and calming. The journey from wakefulness to sleep becomes less of a battle with your inner turmoil and more of a gentle journey where surprising insights flow freely. Each conflicting idea that gently merges into this unified calm is like a drop of dew that adds to the serenity of a peaceful garden, nurturing the very essence of your being and preparing you for the night ahead. If you find solace and inspiration in this unfolding of contradictory beauty and calming insight, consider subscribing to our channel. Join a community that values the intricate, harmonious dance of your inner world, and let us guide you on a journey to deep, nourishing sleep. Embrace the gentle transformation of your thoughts, and allow peaceful rest to become a natural part of your nightly ritual. 19. Inquisitive silence speaks. In the gentle stillness of the night, when the world outside begins to soften and the usual sounds fade into a distant hush, a new kind of awareness begins to grow. It is not loud or demanding. It does not call attention to itself with urgency. Instead, it arises like a soft breeze, barely noticeable at first, an inquisitive silence that starts to speak in ways you hadn't expected. This silence isn't empty. It holds a kind of quiet curiosity, one that gently begins to explore the corners of your mind without rushing or judging. It is a kind of thoughtful presence, quietly peeling back the layers of thought and emotion that built up during the day. And as it does, something begins to shift within you. What once felt like noise or confusion starts to fade, not because it disappears, but because you're no longer holding onto it so tightly. This silence, while soft, has its own rhythm. It asks no questions out loud, but you can feel it nudging you gently. Why did that moment today feel so heavy? What made you smile, even if just for a second? What thoughts have you carried without even noticing their weight? And in response, your mind begins to offer small answers, not always in words, sometimes just in feelings or fleeting memories. These gentle echoes start to move through your awareness, not to disturb you, but to help you understand yourself in a deeper, calmer way. There is no need to force answers. The silence is not here to demand anything. It only invites you to observe, to reflect, to be present in the moment. As you lie back and let this quiet curiosity grow, you start to notice things you didn't earlier. The way your breath moves in and out, steady and calm. The way your body feels heavier, more relaxed, more grounded with every passing minute. And the way your thoughts, once sharp and fast, begin to drift like clouds, slower and softer, shaped more by feeling than reason. This is not the kind of thinking that exhausts you. It's more like a conversation between your present self and the parts of you that have been waiting patiently to be heard. There is no pressure in this exchange, no expectation to solve or fix, just a simple opening, a quiet space where you can breathe and be. In this silence, something unusual happens. The busy voice of the mind, the one that jumps from one worry to another, begins to lose its hold. It doesn't vanish, but it no longer leads the way. Instead, the softer part of your awareness begins to take over. This part doesn't speak in full sentences or loud ideas. It whispers in impressions, in small thoughts that feel more like truth than opinion. And one of those quiet truths is this: peace was always there, hidden beneath the noise. It didn't need to be created. It only needed space to come forward. As you continue to rest in this silent curiosity, you may feel like your thoughts are stretching out, as if each one is gently asking what lies beneath it. A frustration becomes an old need for understanding. A moment of sadness becomes a memory you hadn't looked at in a while. But none of this feels heavy now. The silence holds it all with such tenderness that nothing feels overwhelming. It's almost as if your thoughts are being cradled, allowed to simply exist without being judged, rushed, or silenced. And in that space, you begin to find rest. Not just physical rest, but mental and emotional rest. The kind that doesn't require distraction or avoidance. The kind that grows naturally when we stop trying to fight our own minds. The silence continues to speak, not through sound, but through feeling. It reminds you that your thoughts are not problems to be solved, but patterns to be seen. It helps you see that stillness does not mean emptiness. It can be full of gentle wonder. Each breath becomes a small answer. Each moment of calm becomes a message. And every pause, every gap between your thoughts, holds a quiet insight that only silence can bring. You begin to see that curiosity, when paired with stillness, doesn't stir you up. It settles you. It makes space for something deeper, something softer than all the noise. As you sink more into this state, it feels less like you're thinking and more like you're floating. You're still aware, but there's no effort. Thoughts come and go, and you let them. No need to chase, no need to push them away. They move through you like leaves on water, guided not by force, but by the natural flow of your awareness. The silence continues to hold everything. And in doing so, it reveals that the deepest parts of your mind are not chaotic. They're calm. They were just waiting for you to listen quietly enough to hear them. With each minute that passes, your body relaxes further. Your eyelids may feel heavier, your breath slower, and your heart more at ease. The outside world fades, and the space inside you becomes more open. That inquisitive silence, once small and barely there, now feels like a soft blanket wrapping around your thoughts. It doesn't push anything away. It simply makes room for you to be as you are. And in that space, you find something rare. Peace that isn't built on answers, but on gentle presence. This is the gift of inquisitive silence. It does not rush. It does not demand. It simply sits with you, gently touching each layer of your mind until everything inside softens. It reveals that there is calm to be found, not in fixing every thought, but in allowing them to bloom and fade without force. And as your breathing settles into a deeper rhythm, this silence becomes the voice that leads you into rest. A peaceful, quiet guide that stays with you, even as you drift further into sleep. 20. Renegotiated truth emerges. Imagine a time when the internal landscape of your mind shifts ever so gently, redefining what you once believed to be unchangeable. In the quiet moments when the day's brightness fades and shadows begin to mix, with soft light a new inner reality slowly comes into focus. It is here that you learn to accept both darkness and light, to see beauty in their interplay, and to forge a balanced, calming belief that redefines your truth. This process is not sudden or dramatic. It is a gradual, natural reformation that begins with the simple act of letting go of old, rigid ideas and embracing a more flexible and nurturing understanding of life. As you relax, you notice that the extreme contrasts you once held, the harsh glare of certainty and the deep, impenetrable murk of doubt, start to merge into something gentler, something that feels as if it has always been there but was hidden by your previous expectations. Every day, you encounter moments of conflict, times when your hopes clash with your fears, when you feel drawn toward one possibility while repelled by another. For years, these conflicting feelings may have seemed like a heavy burden to bear, locking you in a cycle of stress and tension. But as you allow yourself to drift into the soothing space of the evening, a quiet revolution begins within. The idea that truth must be absolute slowly loses its grip on you. Instead, you come to understand that truth can be renegotiated, a fluid, evolving concept that adapts with the gentle passage of time and your growing inner awareness. In this new reality, both light and dark have their place, and neither is seen as a threat. They exist as complementary parts of a balanced whole, each offering insights that help you navigate the mysteries of life without causing distress. In the stillness of the night, when the world seems to pause and every sound is muted to a comforting whisper, you can sense the subtle transformation of your inner beliefs. This transformation is like watching a landscape change with the shifting of clouds. What was once clear and fixed now appears soft and malleable, as if it is being reshaped by the gentle hands of time and experience. The feelings that once felt contradictory now start to seem like different aspects of the same underlying truth. Your mind gradually lets go of the desperate need to hold on to a single, unyielding version of reality. Instead, you learn to appreciate the gentle dance between joy and sorrow, success and failure, hope and despair. Each of these moments contributes to a richer, more nuanced understanding of who you are, creating a foundation for peaceful sleep and a calm state of mind. As you allow these new truths to seep into your consciousness, you may begin to notice that the inner debates, the fierce battles between conflicting ideas, start to quiet down. They transform into a soft dialogue, a gentle exchange where every opposing voice is met with understanding rather than resistance. This emerging balance is not about erasing the past or denying the challenges you have faced. It is about integrating them into a larger picture that embraces both the light and the dark. When you can see that every experience, every emotion, has its rightful place in the tapestry of your life, the weight of those conflicting thoughts lifts from your shoulders. In their place, a serene acceptance grows, a feeling that no matter what you have gone through, there is peace waiting on the other side of struggle. This new inner landscape, where renegotiated truth prevails, becomes a source of comfort that gently guides you towards restorative sleep. Even if the day was filled with turmoil or if your thoughts were as stormy as a wild sea, you now find that these turbulent ideas have a way of melting into a soft, harmonious light. That light is born from understanding, from the recognition that there is beauty in imperfection and wisdom in every challenge. With every gentle breath you take, the old rigid certainties give way to a more flexible, adaptive truth that honors both darkness and light. This process is tender and gradual, like a slow sunrise that fills the room with a calming glow. The more you let yourself embrace this transformative truth, the more you discover that your inner world is capable of extraordinary balance, even if it once felt overwhelmed by chaos. As the night deepens and your breathing grows slower, the feeling of renegotiated truth becomes more pronounced. The conflicts that once seemed insurmountable now appear as subtle contrasts that add richness to your inner world. Each nuance of emotion, from fleeting moments of doubt to the warmth of conviction, blends seamlessly into a continuous, gentle stream of calm awareness. In this state, the pressure to be right, to have all the answers, or to resist the darker parts of your nature begins to fade away, replaced by a quiet acceptance that everything is as it should be. This acceptance does not mean ignoring the hardships of life. Rather, it is a way of holding them lightly, without letting them disturb the profound peace that grows within. This peaceful state fosters a deep sense of clarity, a quiet understanding that you are more than your fears, more than your failures, more than any single idea of truth. It opens a door to reflections that are both gentle and profound, allowing you to see that the real essence of your being lies in the delicate interplay of all your experiences. The renegotiated truth is not a simple answer to life's questions, but an ongoing, evolving dialogue with yourself. A conversation that unfolds over time, revealing layers of insight and compassion. In this space, the journey to sleep is not a battle against racing thoughts, but a gentle, welcoming transition into a state of rest where every piece of your inner self is accepted and cherished. Over time, as this process becomes a part of your daily routine, you may find that the doubts and certainties of your life no longer compete for your attention. Instead, they merge into a single, comforting melody, a soft hum that echoes the rhythm of your heart. The renegotiated truth, with its balance of light and shadow, becomes a bedrock upon which you build your nightly rest. It reassures you that, no matter what challenges you face, there is always a space of calm, where your mind can settle and your body can relax. And in that space, deep, restorative sleep awaits, carrying you effortlessly into a morning of renewed strength and clarity. If this peaceful transformation of your inner beliefs resonates with you, consider joining our community. Subscribe to our channel for more thoughtful, calming insights designed to gently guide you into restful sleep. Embrace the journey of renegotiating truth and let each night be a step towards a balanced, serene existence. Your path to deep healing rest begins here, where every breath carries you closer to tranquility, and every thought gently fades into peace. 21. Consciousness twists calmly. In the gentle quiet of night, something begins to shift within you. The busy, restless thoughts that race through your mind all day now start to slow down. They don't disappear all at once, but they begin to change shape. It's like watching a tightly wound rope slowly loosen into a soft, flowing spiral. This is how the active mind starts to let go. One thought at a time. One worry at a time. Each idea that once felt urgent or heavy begins to feel lighter, less pressing, and more like a soft breeze than a storm. The twisting of consciousness is not a sudden thing. It happens naturally, calmly, like the movement of leaves falling from a tree or the slow rolling of waves across a still sea. The thoughts don't vanish. Instead, they shift. What once felt like tension becomes movement, gentle and rhythmic. Imagine a ribbon slowly unwinding in the wind, not snapping or breaking, but swirling peacefully. This is the kind of motion that begins to take over your mind as you relax into the evening. You're not forcing yourself to stop thinking. You're simply allowing those thoughts to find new patterns, softer forms. You begin to realize that you don't need to solve everything tonight. You don't need to carry the full weight of the day into your rest. The mind, when given space, knows how to untangle itself. As this unwinding continues, you start to notice how your body responds. Muscles that were tight from hours of activity start to loosen. Your shoulders drop just a little. Your jaw softens. Even your hands, which may have been clenched or tense, now rest quietly by your side. Your breath slows. The air feels a bit cooler, the room a little quieter. Everything begins to fall into a rhythm that supports relaxation. You feel it in your chest, in your stomach, in your legs. This sense of letting go. It's not something you have to try to do. It's something that happens when you give yourself permission to unwind, to be still, to simply be. In this state, you begin to see how many of your worries were like knots, tight loops of thought tied in the middle of your mind. These knots might have formed from fear, pressure, or doubt. But as you relax, they gently begin to untie themselves. You don't need to pull or struggle. You just need to allow it. With each slow breath, the knots loosen, turning into smooth curves, into quiet spirals that spin out and away. Some thoughts fade completely. Others stay but lose their sharp edges. They become soft, round, and easy to sit with. You start to feel more like an observer than a problem solver. You're no longer pushing your mind in one direction or another. You're watching it twist calmly, gracefully, into rest. This process is quiet and steady. It moves at its own pace. There's no need to rush it. Your thoughts are not wrong or unwanted. They are simply echoes of the day, and they too are ready to sleep. You don't need to fight them. You don't need to silence them. Just allow them to twist and turn as they settle into gentler shapes. Over time, you may even find beauty in this movement, like watching the slow dance of clouds across the night sky or the ripples in a pool of water. It's peaceful. It's soothing. It reminds you that everything changes, even your thoughts, and that change can be soft. Now, in this calm space, you may begin to feel a quiet trust growing. Trust that the mind knows how to care for itself. Trust that you are safe to let go. Trust that nothing is urgent at this moment. The world can wait. The future will come in its own time. For now, all that matters is this present softness, the gentle twisting of thoughts into dreams. You feel supported by the silence, comforted by the calm. Your bed becomes a place of rest, not just for your body but for your whole being. Every part of you, your thoughts, your feelings, your breath, aligns with this deep stillness. You may begin to notice that certain thoughts return, looping back again and again. But this time, they don't feel sharp or overwhelming. They come back as if they too are ready to rest. And each time they appear, you can smile at them gently. You don't have to hold on. Let them twist once more and then let them float away, like leaves on a stream or stars fading into dawn. This is how the active mind settles, not by force, but by flow. Not with effort, but with ease. And as your consciousness continues to twist calmly into this soft spiral of rest, you feel yourself sinking deeper. The line between wakefulness and sleep begins to blur. You are not quite here and not quite gone. You are drifting, gently, safely. This in-between place is quiet, like a warm cloud holding you in the sky. There is nothing to do, nowhere to be. Just this, just now, just rest. If this journey into quiet thoughtfulness brings comfort to you, you're invited to join us again. Our gentle content is here whenever you need it, to guide your mind from tight knots to gentle spirals. For more peaceful reflections that ease you into restful sleep, feel free to subscribe to our channel. Let calm be your companion, and let your mind twist its way softly into peace. 22. Philosophy empowers. Sleep. As the day slowly fades and the world grows quiet, the mind begins to wander inward. Thoughts that were once focused on tasks and plans start to drift into something deeper. In this space, philosophy begins to quietly emerge, not as a subject from books or classrooms, but as a gentle guide in your own thoughts. It comes not with loud answers or heavy ideas, but with soft questions and calming reflections. It is in this peaceful moment that philosophy becomes more than thinking. It becomes a path to rest. The mind often holds so many questions. What is the meaning of life? Why do we feel the way we do? What truly matters? These thoughts don't always need clear answers. Sometimes just sitting with the questions is enough. Philosophy doesn't ask us to solve everything right away. Instead, it shows us that it's okay not to know. It gives us permission to relax into the mystery, and when we do, something beautiful happens. The pressure begins to fade, the rush slows down, and we begin to breathe more deeply. There's a special kind of peace that comes from seeing life as a series of gentle contradictions. We are strong, yet sometimes we feel so small. We want control, yet we learn to let go. We search for truth, but we live with doubt. These aren't problems to fix, they are parts of being human. And when we accept them, they begin to soothe us. We realize that we don't have to fight the paradoxes. We can hold them gently in our minds like two sides of the same coin. This balance between opposites brings a quiet strength. It doesn't stir the mind, it calms it. In this calm space, wisdom rises. It's not the loud kind of wisdom that demands attention. It's the soft kind that whispers when everything else is still. It reminds us that peace doesn't come from having all the answers, it comes from being present with what is, from accepting the ups and downs, from seeing how each moment, even the confusing ones, is part of a greater journey. When this wisdom settles in your heart, the mind naturally begins to rest. It no longer needs to chase or cling. It feels safe to let go. As you lie still and quiet, you might notice how these thoughts begin to wrap around you like a soft blanket. They don't pull you into deep thinking. They simply guide you into a deeper feeling, a feeling of being whole, even with all your questions. This is what philosophy does. It shows you that you are not broken, that your thoughts and emotions are part of a beautiful, layered story. And as you reflect, you begin to trust that story. Even if you don't know where it's going, you feel at peace with where you are now. You may think about time, how it moves quickly, yet always leaves moments like this one for us to pause. You may wonder about love, how it can be so big yet fit quietly in a single memory. You may even consider pain, not as something to fear, but as something that teaches and transforms. These reflections aren't loud or busy. They are like soft waves brushing the shore of your mind. They come and go, bringing insight, and then fading into the calm once again. As these thoughts float gently by, your breath deepens, your body follows. Each part of you begins to feel heavier, not in a way that burdens you, but in a way that grounds you, like roots sinking into soft earth. Your arms relax, your legs feel warm, and your chest moves slowly with each breath. The quiet within your mind is mirrored by the stillness of your body. And as the two meet, something quiet and powerful happens. You feel safe. You feel whole. You feel ready. The wisdom of philosophy reminds you that even in sleep there is learning. Even at rest, there is growth. You are not escaping life by sleeping, you are preparing for it. In this soft pause, your mind and body heal, recharge, and reconnect. You begin to see sleep not just as an end to the day, but as a gentle continuation of your thoughts. Thoughts that don't demand answers, but offer understanding. Thoughts that don't stir confusion, but bring peace. Let your mind continue to drift through these simple, soothing ideas. Let each reflection take you one step closer to sleep. Trust that even in silence, your mind is finding meaning. Trust that even without effort, your body is finding balance. And know that, through this quiet process, you are being renewed. There is beauty in slowing down. There is wisdom in resting. There is strength in letting go. If this soft journey into restful thought has helped you, you're invited to return whenever you need. Our peaceful reflections are always here to guide you gently into sleep. For more calming moments like this one, consider subscribing to our channel. Let philosophy guide your rest, and let your mind drift softly into peace. 23. Enigmatic Dreams Whisper. As the night deepens and the outer world becomes quiet, a different kind of world begins to take shape inside your mind. It is a world where reason softens, and mystery begins to speak in gentle, wordless tones. This world is made of dreams, not loud or vivid ones, but soft, curious, and mysterious. They don't arrive with full stories or clear meanings. They drift in slowly, like mist over calm water. Enigmatic dreams whisper not through loud images, but through feelings, glimpses, and gentle nudges that guide the mind away from the noise of the day. These dreams don't try to explain themselves. They don't follow rules or make logical sense. Instead, they flow like a quiet stream, winding gently through your thoughts. You may catch a shape in the distance, a sound without a source, or a familiar face that feels both real and unreal. These small pieces may not form a complete picture, but they don't need to. Their power lies in their softness, in the way they invite you to wonder without demanding answers, and in that wondering, your mind slowly begins to let go. As your body grows still and your breath deepens, these mysterious dreams begin to move more freely. They are not dreams you must chase. They come to you. Gently. Naturally. As if they've been waiting in the background all along, waiting for the right moment when your thoughts quiet down enough for them to be heard. They whisper in ways that feel safe, in tones that calm the mind and soothe the heart. There is no pressure to understand them. There is only the comfort of knowing they are here to hold you in their soft embrace. In this space, time begins to fade. You are no longer tied to minutes or hours. The sharp edges of schedules and responsibilities blur. You begin to float between wakefulness and sleep, where the boundary becomes thin and smooth. It is here, in this delicate space, that your thoughts can begin to drift without direction. And it is in that drifting that something gentle happens. Your mind relaxes its grip. You no longer need to control every thought. You allow them to come and go, like clouds in a soft sky. The mystery of these dreams is not something to solve, it is something to feel. You may sense quiet memories that weren't there before. You may see places that feel both familiar and new. You may hear voices that carry no words, only comfort. These are not random images. They are the mind's way of guiding you inward, to places where thinking stops and rest begins. You are gently reminded that peace does not come from knowing everything. Peace often begins with letting yourself not know and trusting that it is enough. As these subtle visions continue, you may feel a soft shift in your body, a warmth in your chest, a heaviness in your arms, a slow, peaceful rhythm in your breath. This is your body following your mind. Or maybe it is the other way around. Either way, they are both moving in the same direction, toward rest, toward quiet, toward sleep. You don't need to do anything to make this happen. Just stay here, in this soft space, where dreams do their quiet work and the mind slowly opens like a flower in the dark. There is no need to label what you feel, no need to make sense of each image. What matters is the feeling underneath, a soft sense of curiosity, a gentle sense of letting go. These dreams ask nothing of you. They offer only a path, a place, and a feeling. A feeling that says, it is safe now. You can rest now. Everything that needed to be done today is done. Everything that can wait will wait. You are not behind. You are not missing anything. You are exactly where you need to be. In this quiet moment, with these quiet thoughts, gently drifting into sleep. Even if the dreams change shape or fade away, their effect remains. They leave behind a softness in your mind, like a smooth stone placed gently in the center of a still lake. That calm begins to spread. It touches each part of your body, each corner of your thoughts, and soon, even the background noise of your mind fades into silence. A silence that is not empty, but full of comfort, full of peace, full of rest. And as you slip deeper into that restful space, remember that these whispers will return whenever you need them. They are not gone. They are simply quiet, waiting to rise again the next time your mind needs gentle guidance. Let yourself float into the comfort of sleep, carried by the soft voices of dreams that ask for nothing, but offer so much. Let yourself rest in mystery, in wonder, and in the peace of not needing all the answers. Let enigmatic dreams whisper you into stillness. Let sleep come, slowly and kindly, just as it should. 24. Boundless Mystery Cures. In the quiet of the night, when the world has softened and the fast pace of the day has slowed down, a gentle mystery begins to show itself. It does not shout or demand attention. Instead, it arrives like a whisper, calm and kind. This mystery does not bring confusion, even though it holds questions. It brings a sense of peace. You may not fully understand it, and that's okay. You don't need to. It's enough to feel it, soft, slow, and healing. These mysteries are not the kind that make your head spin or keep you awake. They are not problems to be solved. They are more like gentle riddles from the universe that slowly help you see life in a new way. Maybe the answer isn't the point. Maybe the comfort lies in the wondering. In the space where you stop needing everything to make sense, you create room for rest. You let go of control, and you begin to relax. Sometimes, the more we try to make sense of everything, the more we tire ourselves. We go in circles in our minds, trying to fix, to plan, to understand. But when we step back and allow the unknown to simply be, something surprising happens. We begin to feel lighter. The tightness inside us eases. It's like giving ourselves permission to breathe again, to rest. And this is where the healing begins, not through knowing, but through surrendering to the unknown in a gentle and safe way. Mystery can be a gift. It reminds us that not everything needs to be solved right now. Some things are meant to unfold slowly. Some questions are not here to bring stress, but to open our hearts. When we stop resisting the unknown, we invite peace in. The body follows the mind, and calm begins to settle into every part of us. The shoulders drop, the jaw softens, the breath deepens, the heart slows down. The mystery becomes not something outside of us, but something that lives quietly within. Imagine lying down at night, wrapped in a soft blanket, with nothing expected of you. You are not being asked to do anything, fix anything, or figure anything out. You are just being asked to be. And in that being, you begin to notice things you missed before. The softness of the air, the quiet rhythm of your breath, the lightness in your chest as your thoughts slow down. You begin to trust that whatever you don't know right now doesn't have to take up space in your mind. It can float, like a cloud, without weight or worry. As you rest, these gentle mysteries may visit you in dreams. They may not look like answers, but they may feel like peace. You may see shapes that make no sense but still bring calm. You may hear voices that carry no words, only kindness. And you may wake up without understanding them, yet feeling better, lighter, more whole. That is the quiet magic of mystery. It heals in ways we do not always notice. Life is full of things we cannot explain, moments that feel too big to hold, feelings that rise without reason. But instead of pushing them away, we can learn to welcome them. We can sit with them like we sit beside a calm lake, just watching the water move. And the more we do that, the more we feel safe, even in the middle of not knowing. We begin to see that healing does not always come from logic. It often comes from softness, from rest, from letting the heart lead instead of the mind. Boundless. Mystery is not here to scare you. It is here to show you a deeper kind of truth, one that does not need to be spoken to be understood. It speaks in feelings, in silence, in the gentle ease that comes when you finally let go. It says, you are safe now. You are allowed to rest. You don't have to carry all the answers. And when you hear that, even in the quietest way, your whole self begins to relax. Let yourself rest in that space. Let the unknown be your comfort, instead of your concern. Let each breath guide you further into softness, further into healing. Allow the mystery to be your friend, your quiet companion in the night. Feel how it supports you without pressure, how it holds you without explanation. In this place, your mind no longer needs to work. Your heart no longer needs to worry. You are enough just as you are. And so, you drift, slowly, gently, into a night filled with quiet comfort and open space. You are not alone. You are not lost. You are simply floating in the gentle truth that not everything must be known to bring peace. Some things heal you, just by being near. And that is the mystery, a soft, silent force that cures not by solving, but by soothing. Let it hold you now. Let it guide you to sleep. Let the boundless mystery do its quiet healing work. 25. Internal dichotomy. Heals. Inside the mind there are often two voices. One may be loud, always pushing, always questioning. The other may be quiet, waiting patiently to be heard. These voices are not enemies. They are simply different parts of you, each trying to help in its own way. Sometimes they clash. One may want action, while the other wants stillness. One may chase logic, while the other longs for feeling. This inner difference can create tension, a quiet pressure that lingers even when the outside world is calm. But, with care and softness, these opposites can begin to work together, not against each other. Think of it like a river meeting the ocean. Two kinds of water flowing into one another, different in nature, yet blending slowly until there is no clear line where one ends and the other begins. Your thoughts are like that. The busy thoughts, the still thoughts, the confident ones, and the uncertain ones, all swirling, sometimes crashing, sometimes merging. And when you stop trying to force one over the other, when you simply let them flow, something gentle begins to happen. You feel space open in your mind. You feel at ease. You feel peace. There is healing in accepting that you are both things at once. You are strong and sometimes unsure. You are thoughtful and sometimes confused. You are hopeful and still carry fears. These opposites are not mistakes. They are not problems to fix. They are part of being human. And just like the sky holds both the sun and the moon, you can hold more than one feeling at a time. You don't need to choose one and reject the other. You can just let them be, side by side. At night, when the world becomes quiet, you may notice these inner voices more clearly. One might speak of the day that just passed, bringing up thoughts, memories, even regrets. Another might whisper that it's okay, that rest is allowed, that you don't need to carry it all right now. And in that moment, instead of judging the voices, try to listen to them like a kind observer. Let them speak without forcing an answer. Let them settle into your awareness, like leaves falling slowly to the ground. You are not here to fix your thoughts. You are here to rest with them. When you welcome your inner opposites instead of resisting them, you create a space of balance, and balance brings healing. The fast parts of you begin to slow. The tight parts begin to soften. The loud thoughts lose their sharpness, and the quiet thoughts begin to feel safe again. Together, they form a rhythm, like a soft heartbeat, two sides blending into one calming beat. That rhythm leads you deeper into yourself, into a place where there is no struggle, only stillness. It may seem strange that something as simple as acceptance can bring so much peace, but it does. The act of not fighting yourself is powerful. The moment you say, "It's okay to feel both," you break the pattern of inner conflict. You become your own comfort, your own calm. You begin to see that nothing inside you is wrong or broken. Every thought, every feeling, every inner voice has a place, and in giving each one permission to exist, you allow them to settle down naturally. This process does not need to be quick. It happens gently, like mist rising over a field. One moment you may feel restless. The next, a small wave of peace moves through you. Let that wave come and go. Trust that with each breath, with each moment of stillness, your inner world is learning to balance itself. You don't have to control it. You only have to let it happen. Picture your thoughts like two dancers moving slowly together. At first, they may seem out of step, but soon their movements begin to match. The tension fades. The push and pull becomes a quiet flow. That is what happens inside you when you stop resisting and begin allowing. The dancer of logic moves with the dancer of emotion. The dancer of doubt moves with the dancer of hope. And, together, they create a new harmony that brings your mind to rest. As this calm grows, you may begin to feel it in your body. A warmth in your chest, a softness in your arms, a loosening of your jaw. These are signs that your inner self is coming into peace, that the healing has begun. You are not being pulled in opposite directions anymore. You are being held gently in the middle, where everything is allowed and nothing needs to change right. Now, this is your space, a space where you can be fully yourself, not just the peaceful parts, but all of you. The thinking, the feeling, the knowing, and the wondering. You are safe here. You are enough here. You are held by the very balance that once felt like a struggle, and that balance becomes your path to rest. Let it guide you now. Let the inner differences fade into softness. Let the thoughts lose their edge. Let the feelings find their place. With every breath, you return more and more to this space of gentle wholeness. And as you drift, you carry with you the quiet truth. The healing is not in becoming one thing or the other. It is in learning to be both, and still be at peace. 26. Sublime riddle echoes. Sometimes the questions in your mind do not need clear answers. They float in the background like soft music, not loud or sharp, but gentle and quiet. These questions may not have one truth or even any truth at all, that you can touch. Yet they still bring something important. They create space to wonder, to pause, and to rest in the unknown. It is in this space that a kind of harmony begins to form, not from solving the mystery, but from letting it echo gently through your thoughts. When you lie still at night, your mind might bring up these kinds of thoughts. They don't demand much from you. They may ask things like, "Why do I feel this way?" or "What is really important to me?" But they don't rush in. They don't scream. They come quietly, like whispers across a still lake. They ripple through your mind, slow and soft. You don't have to answer. You only need to listen. In this listening, something soothing begins to grow. Imagine your thoughts as water moving across smooth stones. There is no hurry. There is no goal. There is only movement. And in this movement, your mind begins to ease. The riddles of life, the strange, deep, and curious parts of your experience, are not always meant to be solved. Sometimes they are there simply to be heard. And when you listen with no pressure, they start to lose weight. They become light, almost beautiful. You may have noticed this before in quiet moments when everything slows down, maybe during a walk, alone, or while looking up at the night sky. You feel a question rising in you, not one of worry, but one of wonder. These moments are peaceful, not because you find the answer, but because you allow yourself to sit with the mystery. And in that pause, your mind lets go of tension. It begins to sway gently like a tree moving with the breeze. This same gentle rhythm can return now as you rest. Let the questions come. Let them echo. Let them pass through without judgment. Some may be old questions that have stayed with you for years. Some may be new, forming now from something you felt earlier today. All of them have their place. None of them need to be pushed away. You can hold them lightly, like a soft fabric in your hands. Feel their presence. Feel their calm. The mind does not need to be still to be peaceful. It only needs to be free of pressure. When you stop forcing answers, when you stop needing full understanding, your thoughts begin to relax. They find their own rhythm, their own quiet beat. And as that beat settles in, so do you. You begin to rest not just in your body, but in your mind too. Even the most confusing thoughts lose their sharpness in this space. They blend into the background, like stars disappearing into dawn. What once felt heavy now feels gentle. What once felt tangled now flows freely. There is beauty in not knowing. There is calm in simply being. With each slow breath, you move deeper into this space. The riddles stay with you, but they no longer pull. They float. They echo. And in their soft sound, your mind begins to trust the silence. You begin to feel the peace that lives beneath the questions. A peace that was always there, just waiting for you to stop and notice it. Let yourself notice it now. Let yourself rest in it. The world does not need to make perfect sense for you to find calm. You do not need to figure everything out tonight. All you need is to be here, in this moment, listening to the quiet music of your thoughts, and allowing them to be just as they are. The riddles may continue to echo, but now they do so gently, almost like a lullaby. They sing softly through your awareness, guiding you closer to sleep. You are safe with them. You are not lost in the questions. You are floating with them, held by their gentle rhythm. Let that rhythm carry you now. Let your breath match it. Let your thoughts soften in its presence. There is no need to hold on tightly. Just drift. Just be. Just rest in the mystery, knowing that peace doesn't come from solving everything. It comes from allowing everything to be what it is. And as you do, sleep comes naturally, quietly, beautifully. 27. Immense curious calm. There is a special kind of calm that doesn't come from silence alone, but from a deep curiosity about the thoughts within you. It's not a loud curiosity. It doesn't feel like searching or chasing. Instead, it feels like quietly wondering, like gently exploring your mind without pressure or judgment. In this calm, you are both still and deeply aware. It is not the kind of awareness that needs to act or change anything. It is simply the kind that listens, softly, peacefully. As your body begins to slow down for rest, your mind can shift into this curious state. You begin to notice things, feelings, ideas, memories, that quietly rise and fall inside you. Some of them may surprise you. Some may feel old and familiar, but none of them need to be pushed away. You are not here to fix or figure anything out. You are just here to witness, and as you witness, something gentle begins to grow inside. A space that feels open, calm, and vast. This space is not empty. It is full of quiet energy. It holds all your questions, your reflections, your quiet hopes. It doesn't need to rush or explain, it simply lets things be, and that is where the calm begins. When you no longer fight your thoughts or try to change them, they settle. Like dust floating down in a quiet room, they slowly land. And in their stillness, you begin to feel the soft power of your own presence. Your curiosity now becomes a kind of rest. You're not chasing answers. You're allowing yourself to explore gently. You might wonder why you feel a certain way, or where a certain thought came from, but you don't try to solve it. You just let the question sit there, like a small light glowing in the distance. You observe it with interest, but without stress. And the more you do, the more peaceful your inner world becomes. There is something beautiful about this kind of awareness. It's like walking through a quiet forest at dusk. You're not in a hurry, you're just noticing. A breeze, the way the trees move, the soft colors in the sky. It's all there, unfolding naturally, without needing anything from you. That's what your thoughts are like now. You can let them pass like clouds, or stay with one gently, just long enough to understand it a little more. You begin to realize that peace doesn't always come from silence. Sometimes it comes from understanding. And understanding doesn't have to be deep or complex. It can be as simple as recognizing a feeling, naming it quietly in your mind, and letting it stay without judgment. This creates room, and in that room, calm begins to grow. Let your breath follow this rhythm, slow, easy, without effort. With each breath, your mind opens just a little more. With each breath, the space inside you feels softer, wider. You feel the vastness of your own inner world. Not busy, not noisy, just spacious. A place where everything can settle, where your thoughts are allowed to be gentle, where your curiosity feels like a friend rather than a task. This is a powerful calm. It may not look like much on the outside, but inside, it holds great strength. The strength to rest, the strength to listen, the strength to stay present with yourself without rushing away. And this kind of strength, this calm, is what invites deep rest. As you lie here, feel how wide and quiet your mind has become, not because it is empty, but because it is at peace with whatever is there. You are no longer trying to make your thoughts disappear. You are simply letting them be. And in doing that, you've found a calm that runs deeper than silence, a calm that is curious, kind, and steady. Let yourself float in this calm now. Let your mind continue to explore gently. You may find more thoughts, more feelings. That's okay. Let them pass through you, like ripples in a pond. You are safe in this space. You are held by your own awareness. You are comforted by your curiosity. And with each moment, your body and mind draw closer to rest. Sleep comes not from trying, but from allowing. And you are allowed now. Allowing your thoughts, allowing your feelings, allowing your breath, and most importantly, allowing yourself to rest without needing to control anything. This is the gift of immense curious calm, a space where peace grows naturally, just by paying gentle attention to your inner world. So rest here. Breathe here. Let the questions stay without answers. Let your thoughts echo gently without needing to change. You are exactly where you need to be, calm, curious, and ready for deep, peaceful sleep. 28. Vivid contradiction melts. In the quiet hours of the evening, as you begin to slow down and prepare for rest, the mind gently shifts into a new rhythm. The thoughts that filled your day start to drift apart. They no longer move quickly or with pressure. They begin to settle, becoming softer and slower. Some of these thoughts may seem like opposites. They may appear different, conflicting, even confusing. But here, at this moment, they are no longer battling for your attention. They are simply floating, and slowly, very slowly, the space between them begins to soften. During the day, it's easy to feel pulled in many directions. You might feel both calm and stressed, certain, then unsure, You may hold joy and sadness at the same time and wonder how such different feelings can live in one place. These inner contradictions can feel vivid, strong. They may ask you to make sense of them, to choose one over the other. But now, as the day fades and stillness begins to rise, there is no need to solve or choose. There is only the gentle permission to let them be. And something beautiful happens when you stop trying to separate everything. The sharp edges begin to melt. The strong lines between thoughts begin to blur. The quiet part of your mind steps forward, not to fix anything, but to observe. It notices how two opposite ideas can exist at once, how they don't always need to cancel each other out. Instead, they can rest side by side, like colors blending at sunset, creating something new, something softer. Your thoughts, once vivid and full of contrast, begin to melt into each other. They form a gentle landscape of awareness, a calm space where understanding replaces judgment. You no longer have to decide what is right or wrong, what should be kept or let go. All that's asked of you now is to rest in the middle of it all. In this space there is no pressure, there is only peace. Think of your mind as a sky wide and open. During the day, many clouds pass through, bright, dark, light, heavy. Some move fast, others slowly. Some clouds look completely different from one another, but by night they fade into a soft haze. They blend with the deep blue above and the quiet stars beyond. No longer separate, no longer clashing, they simply exist together in silence. That's what your thoughts are doing now. Becoming one with the sky. Becoming part of something whole and calm. You don't need to force this process. It's happening naturally, gently. Your body is relaxing more with every breath. Your muscles are releasing tension. Your breath is becoming slower, easier, and your mind is beginning to mirror that softness. Where there was once division, there is now a slow merging. Your thoughts are finding unity in the quiet. They are no longer vivid or sharp. They are soft, like distant waves folding into the shore. In this peaceful state, clarity begins to emerge. Not the kind of clarity that comes from figuring things out, but the kind that arises when you stop trying to. It's the kind that comes from surrendering, from trusting that everything inside you, no matter how different, has a place. Even your contradictions, especially your contradictions. They are part of what makes you whole. As you listen, notice the sense of safety that begins to grow. It's a safety that tells you are allowed to rest. You don't have to think everything through right now. You don't have to reach any answers tonight. Your mind can rest in the in-between, the place where all thoughts are allowed, but none of them need to lead. This is the beauty of letting go, the peace that comes when your thoughts stop pulling in opposite directions and simply float together in calm stillness. Let that feeling grow now. Let it fill your chest, your shoulders, your back. Let it wrap around your neck and your jaw, soothing the places that hold tension. Let your eyes soften behind closed lids. Let your whole body rest in the comfort of not needing to decide or divide. Everything's coming together now, merging into one soft rhythm, a steady, gentle flow that leads you into rest. The vivid contrast has faded, not because it was wrong or bad, but because it no longer needs to be bright. It has served its purpose. It showed you the many parts of yourself. And now, it steps back to let your inner calm rise, to let your breath deepen, to let your thoughts become the quiet echoes of the day, slowly drifting into silence. As you lie here, feel the peace of being whole, not perfect, not finished, but whole. With every breath, your mind and body are coming into alignment. Each inhale draws in calm. Each exhale releases conflict. You are moving with ease now, flowing into sleep with no need to hold on to anything. The vividness has melted. The contradiction has softened. And what remains is only stillness. Let sleep come to you now, gently, quietly. like a soft blanket being pulled over your thoughts. Let your dreams carry you into the space where all parts of you can rest, where all pieces can come together in peace. There is nothing left to do tonight. Only this. Only rest. Only calm. 29. Enlightened paradox sounds. As the day winds down and you begin to slow your pace, your thoughts start to settle into a softer rhythm. The noise of the outside world grows quiet. You notice your breath. You feel the calm start to unfold. This moment of stillness, something subtle begins to stir, a quiet tune within your mind, like a soft melody made not of sound, but of thought. And as you listen more closely, you begin to realize that this gentle inner music is made from the most unexpected notes, conflicting truths, paradoxes, opposites that once felt hard to hold together. But now they no longer push or pull. Instead, they move in harmony, forming a peaceful, flowing song within you. The mind is full of ideas that seem to go in different directions. You can be both strong and vulnerable, confident and unsure, joyful and quietly sad. These contradictions often feel strange during the day. You may try to make sense of them, fix them, or choose between them. But here, in the soft quiet of evening, there is space for all of them to exist at once. The tension between opposites begins to fade. They no longer argue. They blend together like the soft hum of instruments tuning before a lullaby begins. Think of a piano. When you press two different keys, they might sound too far apart. But when you play them gently, at just the right pace, they create harmony. That's what your thoughts are doing now. Each one, even the ones that once felt confusing or difficult, is part of a bigger melody. A peaceful, quiet song that guides your mind into rest. It's not about choosing which note is better or more true. It's about listening to how they move together, how they create something soft and whole. Let your breath follow that rhythm. Inhale slowly and feel the calm enter your body. Exhale gently and let go of any need to decide or figure things out. With each breath, you are falling more in sync with the peaceful song of your own mind. It's a song that knows how to carry you into deep rest. A song that welcomes all parts of you. The parts that agree, the parts that don't, the parts you understand, and the ones you don't have to. There is comfort in paradox when you stop trying to solve it. There is wisdom in it too. Just like night and day follow one another without conflict, your thoughts can flow from one to the other, without needing to be corrected. The light can make room for the dark. Certainty can sit quietly next to doubt. And you, lying here now, are the gentle listener to it all. You are the space where opposites become one smooth note. Notice how your body responds to this inner harmony. Your shoulders drop just a little, your jaw relaxes, your arms feel heavier in the best way. The calm melody within you is not loud. It doesn't need to be. It is soft, patient, like waves touching the shore. Each thought, once sharp and different, is now rounded and warm, like pebbles that have been smoothed by time. You do not have to hold on to them. Just let them pass through, one after the other, becoming part of the music of your rest. This is not a melody that needs to be memorized. It is not a song you have to sing. It is a background rhythm, quiet and comforting, that helps your mind let go. It guides you without rushing. It shows you that peace doesn't come from fixing or deciding. It comes from allowing, from listening, from trusting that even the most opposite truths can belong in the same breath, the same moment, the same self. Let your thoughts continue to blend now, like colors in the sky just before sleep takes hold. Let go of needing to know how or why. Just listen to the way it feels. Let the quiet hum of paradox carry you deeper into rest. Feel how calm your body has become, how soft your thoughts have grown, how the once complicated parts of your mind are no longer separate. They are together now, wrapped in the comfort of night. There is nothing more you need to do. The melody will continue to play even as your thoughts grow quieter, even as you drift farther into sleep. It will be there, in the background of your dreams, keeping time with your breath, reminding you that all is well, that your mind is safe, that your rest is near. Now, all that remains is this calm. This quiet song is made of once conflicting truths now flowing together like a stream beneath moonlight. Let it guide you. Let it soothe you. Let it gently carry you into sleep. 30. Cosmic sleep descends. As the day slips quietly into night, there is a profound stillness that takes over. It's a silence that stretches across the vastness of the universe, as if the stars themselves are quietly watching over you. In this peaceful stillness, everything seems to slow down. The hum of the world fades away, and in its place, there's a deep, expansive silence that surrounds you. It's not just the silence of your room, but the silence of the entire universe. It's as though the whole cosmos has paused just for you, offering a space for your mind to rest, to release and to be renewed. This cosmic silence is not empty, but full of peace, full of calm, and full of the quiet promise of restful sleep. It is the kind of silence that doesn't need any explanation. It doesn't need to be filled with words or noise. It simply exists, wrapping around you like a soft, gentle blanket. It brings with it a sense of timelessness, as if the hours of the night no longer matter, and your mind is free to wander through the vast expanse of quiet. At this moment, you begin to feel the weight of the days lift. The thoughts, worries, and questions that you've carried with you through the hours slowly start to fade. They no longer demand your attention. You don't have to solve anything. You don't have to figure anything out. Everything you've been holding on to can rest now, just as you are. All that matters is this moment of quiet, this moment of peaceful stillness. As you breathe deeply, you begin to sense a connection to something much larger than yourself. It's as if the silence you're experiencing isn't just the absence of sound, but the presence of something vast and calming, something that has always been here, just waiting for you to notice it. It's the silence of the universe itself, the same silence that fills the spaces between the stars, the same silence that stretches across galaxies. It is a silence that brings with it a sense of safety, of being held in a vast, infinite space where nothing can harm you, where nothing can disturb your peace. This silence wraps around you like the arms of the universe, gently drawing you closer. It begins to soften the edges of your thoughts, like a quiet river smoothing the rough stones at the bottom of its bed. Your mind, once full of the day's events, now begins to quiet. The worries that once seemed so pressing slowly dissolve into the vastness of the night, carried away by the stillness. You feel yourself becoming lighter, freer, as though you're floating in the gentle embrace of the cosmos. With each breath, you sink deeper into this peaceful space. The quiet of the universe settles into your body, easing your muscles, relaxing your mind, and calming your spirit. You can feel the stress of the day slowly melting away, like snowflakes falling and disappearing into the warmth of the earth. The pressure that you may have felt in your chest, the tension that you may have carried in your shoulders, starts to fade. Your body softens, your breath deepens, and your mind becomes still. As you drift deeper into this cosmic sleep, you begin to sense a feeling of renewal, as if the quiet of the universe is recharging your spirit. It's as if, in this vast silence, your soul is being replenished, like a plant soaking up the warmth of the sun after a long, cold winter. There is a deep sense of peace here, a peace that you don't need to search for because it is already within you, waiting to be uncovered. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, knows exactly what you need. It knows how to guide you into rest, how to help you heal, and how to bring you back to yourself. In this peaceful space, there is no rush. There is no hurry. There is only the gentle, slow descent into rest. You feel your body growing heavier, your muscles releasing the last bits of tension, and your mind surrendering to the quiet rhythm of the universe. The calmness that surrounds you is not just a feeling. It's a presence, a force that gently supports you, that guides you deeper into a restful, peaceful sleep. As you settle further into this quiet embrace, you feel a deep sense of connection to everything around you, the stars above, the earth below, and the vast, endless space in between all seem to come together at this moment, reminding you that you are part of something much larger than yourself. This realization brings a sense of comfort, as if the universe is cradling you in its arms, ensuring that you are safe, loved, and at peace. With each breath, you sink deeper into the stillness. The silence of the cosmos becomes your companion, gently guiding you into a place where time no longer matters. You are free from the worries and distractions of the day. You are free to simply be, to rest, and to renew your energy. As you let go of the last bit of tension in your body, you begin to feel the comforting weight of sleep settling over you, as soft and as welcoming as the universe's silent embrace. And as you fall deeper into this peaceful sleep, know that you are not alone. The quiet of the cosmos is with you, always. It will hold you, guide you, and bring you the deep restorative rest you need. Let it carry you into dreams, into a space where your mind can truly rest, where your spirit can be renewed, and where you can awaken with a sense of peace and calm, ready to begin again.